They must be doing something right. For me personally, that was just something I never forgot, man. It was just when I was on campus because I never envisioned myself doing anything until my senior year.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
As an 18-year-old, I let my mistakes kind of take over my life. I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it.
10 years later, at age 28, Jackie finished her high school diploma.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
This is how we do every day. You be grinding, and if you want to come and text us.
If you love them enough to turn on your music and pretend like their music is your music.
This is Mommy's jam.
Then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Husker Nation. Now is the time.
Holy moly! Man, woman, and child did that. Put them in the eyes.
Does he have enough? Is it long enough?
It's going to be tipped. It's Tom. How many tackles can one man break? He to the 20. He to the 10. He's on the way.
It's game day in Lincoln, America, and this is the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show.
Check this out.
The A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show is powered by Sunbelt Rentals, Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador, Select Plumbing, Jimmy John's, Lincoln Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits, Fleet Feet, Fuhr's Cheese Spread.
Come on.
Get up and get loud, Husker fans. The A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show starts now.
Facts. Damn. Good morning and welcome from Boulder, Colorado. Blur parties. My microphone just got turned off. Jay, don't mess with my microphone.
Yeah, see, Jay's
now.
all messing around.
Jay Foreman, Nick Sander, Jake Sorensen. We are live at Blur Parties, 2601 Canyon Boulevard here in Boulder, Colorado for the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show.
I can't hear myself. But that's probably what you guys wanted to do on purpose, but it's all good.
No, we can hear you, Jay. Hey, it's a beautiful day. I think the high is 85 today.
Yeah.
We've got football 3 hours away from Nebraska, Colorado, kicking things off at Folsom Field. The game of the day. I mean, you got Bama and Texas, but the nation's watching Prime versus Matt Rule, expecting maybe 10 million people to watch this game on Big Noon on Fox.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a party, and we are here at Blur Parties to start things off today.
That's the way it should be, and that's the way it used to be. You know, it's a big rivalry. Nebraska should hate Colorado. Colorado stated they hate Nebraska. Dion and Matt Rule both have came in and shook up both programs, right? And they kind of did it simultaneously and did it the same way, but delivered the message different. And Colorado jumped out first there and put themselves on the scene. Nebraska represented themselves for about 3.5 quarters. And let's see if they can go a step further. So I just think it's a game that both teams desperately want to get to where they want to get to. Nebraska needs a good winning feeling. And prime time and Dion and the Colorado Buffaloes would like nothing else but to stick it to Nebraska one more time.
Yeah, I mean the potential springboard that's here for Nebraska football, and also the fan base is enormous right now, right? Because the entire country is watching this Colorado-Nebraska game. All eyes are on you. Alabama and Texas, which might be the second biggest game of the day, which probably is not until night. I mean, that's one decent thing, I guess,
Right.
about starting at 10 or 11 a.m., depending on where you're at in the country. But all eyes are on you after a really disappointing loss in week 1.
Right.
This is really all you could ask for because Nebraska's continued to get these opportunities,
Yeah,
whether
I know,
they're
right?
playing on week 0, whether they're playing on week 1 on a Thursday, or now here on week 2 at 10 a.m. in one of the biggest stories in college football, if not the biggest,
Oh, it is the
against
biggest,
the
dude.
most talked team in the entire country. Everybody's going to be watching you. Guys, there were over, 10 million people watching on Colorado TCU last
Something like
week.
that.
There's going to be more this week just with the Nebraska name tied with it.
Yeah, and the thing is there's no more scheduling conflicts, scheduling excuses. Nebraska's been put up in a situation to where you can get the exposure, which ties right into Matt Rule, who does a really good job in front of the mic and the camera. And then that ties right in there with Deion Sanders and his crew of players that do really well, promoting their program, which then simultaneously promotes Nebraska and this game. And so, look, all that stuff is great, right? But at the end of the day, here in about 2 hours and 56 minutes, you got to kick off and win a game. And that's where the coaching really comes into. That's where the leadership comes into. That's where your best players have to step up Monday through Friday and get guys focused. Nebraska could have the attention, or not have the attention, but have a little distinct advantage of, hey, we let ourselves down. We got beat up a little bit for a couple days, but there was great games over the weekend. Colorado obviously took the headlines. The pressure's on them because now they have more obligations and get more love, as they like to say, and they can operate under the radar and they can come in here and sneak out a victory. But also they can't assume that, but they do have an advantage that they're able just to kind of, keep their head down and work at it. But ultimately, it's going to come down to what they did from the time that game ended last Thursday to, all through the week, lead to what is going to be success or not today. And they got to right the wrong and get better at whatever that was that didn't work out Thursday.
Just think about this. I mean, think about 10 plus days ago when Nebraska kicks off their season against Minnesota. And this game was viewed as, some people thought it would be an easy win, an easy-ish win. Colorado
A lot of
has
people
68 new scholarship players. They are 1-11 last year. Yes, of course, they have the prime effect. But, hey, man, how do you get all that to connect right off the bat? You watch the TCU game and you say, wow, these guys actually look like they're cleaner than TCU off the bat. There was less penalties off the get-go for Colorado. Right. So all those kind of things you were laughing at or doubting, they proved them wrong in the first quarter of last game.
I mean, it's the thing is never assume, right? The first 3 letters assume and never do that. Listen, when Matt Rule has done the same thing, right? He had 39 new scholarship guys in a matter of 2 weeks. I mean, so it's 28 more up here in Colorado, but also you have to understand if you have somebody that can speak life into kids and be upfront with what you want and give them a legitimate opportunity, then they're going to come and if they want to be coached and if they want to do well, then they're going to gel. Then it comes down to the staffs. I think the head coaches, live and die by how good their assistants are, and it's not just what you do in recruiting. It's not just what you do during the week. The assistants have to be on and popping during the game because ultimately the head coach is coaching, right? The assistants have to do this essentially assistant head coaching. You have to be able to adjust. You have to have the experience. You have to be able to see things. You have to guesstimate what's going to happen. And then you got to also make sure that they're drawing back on the things you worked on all week. And then the head coach obviously is dealing with game management, clock management, situational stuff. And then obviously, picking and choosing when he's trying to dip into the offense and defense. That's what's going to be huge here, Nick, because Colorado has a little bit more of a veteran staff, I'd say. Longtime friends of Deion, longtime NFL coaches and former head coaches.
I was going to say experiences. Their offensive coordinators was the head coach at Kent State last year.
Right.
Sean Lewis.
Yeah, he's a stud. He's a stud.
And then Kelly, their defensive coordinator, is a longtime Nick Saban disciple, so he's been exposed to some things. So, they have advantage there. But then also Nebraska has a very young staff, so they have to learn from what maybe they could have done better last week and maybe settling guys down. Right? Maybe having some on time and on target suggestions. That's going to be huge because the magnitude of this game you can't replicate in practice, right? Especially if you hadn't been there before. And sometimes if you have a young team, you can get caught up in the hoopla, man. I mean, look, you got Elvis over there. You had a guy walking.
Elvis is in the building.
Elvis is definitely in the building. We got to get a picture with him before we leave. You had a guy walking around with a full-on Nebraska onesie with the arms cut off. He's in the building with a fedora hat. And so everybody is out here in their best uniforms, per se, and they're out here trying to showcase what they can do. And so it's a big game. But ultimately, those young kids and those young men are going to go out there and settle it, and the best team is going to win.
Is there a benefit for Nebraska here that they're somewhat just not being discussed?
Oh, yeah.
Right, because you call it. I mean, they're showing it on the TV, or they just got done showing it on the TV. Nebraska, Colorado was the first game that they talked about outside of Alabama and Texas, where they're at. But there was no Nebraska highlights. Yeah. It was all Colorado. All statistics were Colorado. Right. Is there a benefit? Everybody knows about how much the line has shifted. Is there a benefit here that Nebraska's kind of not being talked about? Like it somewhat fits what we haven't seen necessarily, but what Matt Rule has said on we want to go in, we want to play smash mouth football, and we want to walk out and just act like we just took care of business.
It could be your rallying cry, but let's be honest, there wasn't a lot of highlights to show last week.
That's a good point.
The line shifts. You got to think the Nebraska money can and will shift the money because Nebraska people generally bet with their heart and not their head. They do. That's normal. But it's a great situation for Matt Rule. It's a great situation for Jeff Sims. It's a great situation for Marcus Satterfield. It's a great situation for all those kids. If you want to have a rallying cry, say they ain't giving us no respect. And then sometimes you can't ask for respect, right? You can't sit there and wait for it. Sometimes you just got to go take it, Jake. You know what I'm saying?
You do.
Just like you this morning. You all jumpy. I said, settle down, man.
I wasn't jumpy. I was good. The microphones were a little different.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Well, listen, man. Sometimes you got to take stuff.
Let's take it from the Buffs today.
You have to. Because, listen, you ain't getting nothing no more at Nebraska, right? Yes, you have the end, and yes, you have the fan base. I mean, it's great the fans come out here. Great 93.7 the tickets covering, and all that blur, everything. That's guaranteed. But nothing else comes from that. You know, you're not going to win a game because you got fan support. Yep. You're not going to win a game because you have a great athletic facility or a football facility. That's not going to win you games. What that's going to do is help you and give you an advantage, you know, for the long term. But you're not getting anywhere until you line them up, strap them up, and go beat somebody.
Yeah.
Mano y mano, Jake.
Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? Me against you.
And Matt Rule has a tough test to try to get these guys to get their mental game right. Because what we all know, Nebraska has had, you know, the stat is 2-14 in one-score games since 2021, right? It's incredible. Yeah. Every game's been close, and they don't win them all. And you have the first game of the season, you're up 10-3 at the ball at midfield with 4 minutes to go, and you find a way to lose. And not just lose in regulation. 2 crippling turnovers back-to-back. A crazy touchdown catch by the Gophers to tie it up, and then the field goal. I mean, you have to just drain that out of your guys to say we are not this team. You don't have to lose like this. We can be a good fourth quarter team. We can close a game out.
But you know how you remedy that, man?
What's that? You do it.
No,
you win.
You know how you remedy that, Jake? Jake, I mean, listen. Hey. I'm talking about what we did since I've been here. We can't do anything about what Scott Frost and those dudes did.
Right.
We lost the game because we beat ourselves.
Yep.
Okay. That's the one thing we're 0 for 1. That's it. We're not 2-14. No, we're 0 for 1. So then we got to go back and figure out how we can remedy what we did. We got to address what we did under Matt Rule and focus on that. Because you got to think, if they're 2-14 and one and score games, they gotta win 12 more games and one score games for people to say, okay, now you 50-50. Because you have to get it to where we're 1-1 in one score games. It could start today with Colorado. If you go by Nick Sainert, actually upgrade Nick Sainert.
Presidential suite
Nick Sainert over that it's here. A one score game. Nebraska pulls it out. Now Matt Rule is 1-1 in one score games. It's not a Nebraska thing. It's a Matt Rule thing. Matt Rule has to do a better job. The coaches have to do a better job, and quite frankly, a lot of the players have to do a better job.
Okay, so Jay, you talked about the assistants have to be locked in, right? And they got to do because the head coach is coaching right. At the entire game. What do you want to see out of the assistants today, right? Because maybe at times last week it was a little bit disappointing, and some of the play on the field was disappointing, right? Some of the energy as well, and so in with the environment that it's going to be. The fan bases for both Nebraska and Colorado. I mean, we already got folks showing up here at Blur parties at the Blur tailgate down here, about a mile away from the stadium, which is great, by the way.
Awesome.
Nebraska fans are going to show up and be loud. Same with Colorado fans. I was telling Jake before this on the drive over here from my hotel at about 6 a.m. There was a group of Colorado students making their way walk into the stadium. And I thought, we're still 4 hours from kickoff.
This didn't happen last year.
And this didn't happen last year when it was 1-11. The energy is going to be there.
Did you hit the horn on
I did not.
You
I did
should
not.
have.
There, but no,
should have scared them.
back to my point though, is they were 1-11 last year. This is a new territory for Colorado.
Yeah.
Because they're 1-0, right?
Sure.
How does Nebraska settle down, control what they can control? Because that's been a big issue for them in games past.
Just don't punch yourself in the face. You know what I mean? The crowd's going to be loud. You know that. Look, you knew the crowd was going to be loud that when the clock struck 0 down there in Dallas against TCU. You already knew it. First of all, Colorado could have lost that game. They could have played a great first half, lost the game. That's what everybody expected, right? It would be the same intensity that you're going to get today, right? Because of what Deion and Primetime has brought to this. They brought consistent energy. They believe now. So you have to control what you control, right? Hear the play, execute the play, block your guy, push him in the ground, punish him, get up and do it again. You can't sit up here and be, jumping off sides when nobody's even getting set in your line. What you scared of? That's what some guys just need to. I'm gonna just be frank with you, Jake. Okay, we're in the circle of trust here.
We are in the circle of trust.
Are
here.
we?
Yeah, we
because
are.
you didn't start my morning off right. You know what I'm saying? Because man, you was just way out of control.
That ain't true, Jay.
But you still my man. You recovered, especially last night. Some guys just need to stop playing scared. Straight up. Okay, stop being scared. What you scared of? He's just a man. Yeah. That's what I would tell him. He's just a man. I mean, is it a robot over there? Is that Superman over? What you scared of, man? You've been playing football and you've been in training camp and all this stuff for I don't know how long, right? And you're gonna show up in a game that this is what you work for and act like you scared.
Well, I mean,
if you're scared, get a dog or something.
Yeah, this is not a place to be scared.
Go talk to the Dalai Lama or something. This ain't a game for the faint of heart, man.
Once again, I mean, Jay, you and I talked about it on the show yesterday. If you're a Nebraska player here, you should be pumped for a game like this. All you've heard all week is how good Travis Hunter is. All you've heard all week is how talented Shadur Sanders is.
Dylan Edwards,
and they are, right? Not to take anything away from them, but once again, nobody's talking about anybody from Nebraska, and rightfully so. As I was going to say,
talk about you, do something,
and they have a chance today to do something. They have a chance.
Social media, the Husker fans, these great Husker fans, they ain't gonna do nothing for you.
Yep.
No.
I mean, they're gonna cheer you on, but you got to give them something to cheer about, man.
Well, think about today as a potential redemption day for Jeff Sims, who had a nice day in the ground. The 3 crippling picks first half.
You play quarterback. You ain't no running back. Throw the ball, pitch and catch.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Look, if I'm throwing it to my man right there in the Nebraska shirt, I'm delivering it on time and on target.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
He got it.
Look at him.
He's ready for
That's
it.
what you got to do. He looks like a tight end right there.
As simple as that.
That's a touchdown right there.
Right.
Automatic first down.
Yeah. He got the hands of glory over there. Hey, listen, you got dudes out there, make them good, right? That's your job as a quarterback. Deliver me the mail, and I take it home. Period.
It's important.
Yeah. Defense, you got to tackle. Yeah, Travis Hunter's good. They got guys that are going to play in the NFL. Well, let's see how good we really are, man.
Well, and for Jeff Sims, it's also looking forward to getting your confidence back. I'm not saying his confidence is gone, but when you have 3 picks and you had a bunch of picks at Georgia Tech, and you hear people talking about your issues with interceptions, that stuff does not go away. You have to block it out and say, I'm a gamer. I'm a prime time man.
Yeah.
I'm a prime time player.
Hey, listen, man, everybody has a bad game. That's what you do afterwards. Yeah. And do you recognize it? Right? Do you point the finger or point the thumb? And that's the old Bo Pelini thing. And so you got to get back to, you got to recognize, okay, what you did. Yeah, could the play calls been better? Sure. Right? Could we ran the ball a bit more? Sure. But at the end of the day, there's things that you shouldn't have done as a quarterback decision-making that can't happen regardless of if it was in this game or in that game, this game, or anything after that. So really, ultimately, it comes down to handling our business. Nebraska handles their business, which is low turnovers, establish the run game, gang tackle, right, and be efficient and stay ahead of the chains. They win the game. If they go out there and have 3 or 4 turnovers, which we did, we lost a turnover battle against Minnesota.
-3, right?
-3.
Yep.
And, there's not – Alabama can't win that. Georgia can't win a game like that. So our margin for error is obviously thinner. So we recognize what we have to do. So let's stay out of our own way and put our best foot forward.
We are live again at Blur Parties, 2601 Canyon Boulevard. This is the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show. Always honest answers. A1 Automotive 11th and L. By the way, tickets available still for this at blurevents.com/Boulder. Nick's already partaking in a beverage to begin today.
Here's the thing. Nick comes into Colorado, probably ain't never been here more than 3 times. All of a sudden, he got guys. First of all, he gets upgraded. He said like this. Garçon, give me a drink.
I didn't do anything.
How did it even happen? Did you spot him out or what?
He looked over at me and he gave this one, and I was like, I just gave him.
You didn't give me one of these.
I just gave him the palms up. Like, I don't care. You can if you want to give me a drink, that's fine. And he walked me over a Bloody Mary. It's delicious.
Well, that's good. That's at the Blur Events. Yes. Blur Events party here. Party. Yeah, we got fans are showing up. It's getting packed at 7:19 a.m. It's starting to get full in here already.
It's about to be on and popping.
It's going to be popping. It already is popping.
And then every time we score, it's going to be slowly but surely. We're going to hear the echo of Husker fans in the stadium as we score touchdown. Touchdown.
I want to take you back quickly, and then I want to ask a question about this game because 2019, Nebraska comes out here, a ranked team. Nebraska beat, they're 1-0 coming in. It was probably 60% plus
easily.
Nebraska
65, 70%.
What do we think today will look like in the stands? It was, I'm telling you, easily 60%
I think it's going to be
Nebraska fans.
70% Colorado.
Yeah, I'm thinking
30% Nebraska in the stadium.
Was that the case before last week? Before the episode?
Yeah, because they had made a conscious effort not to have it, but I don't think it would have been 70%.
Okay.
I think some people that were really going to sell their tickets, because the iffy Buff fans that only like to wear the nice T-shirts and stuff like that.
Yes,
they decided they're going to come to the game. But Nebraska's got to ruin their moment because you want all the Buff fans think like, man, we could have sat in our couch in front of our TV and watch Colorado lose. Yeah.
I'm shooting for 35 to 40% Nebraska fans. Jay says 30. I'm saying 40%.
I would be
Is
great.
Is it weird that I think there's going to be more?
You think 50% possibly?
I think it's about half
Nebraska fans. Well, it'd be great if we could see that.
I also think partially, guys. Okay, so Jay, I want to ask you this. In a game like today, it's going to be perfect weather at kickoff. 75 degrees, less than 5 miles an hour of wind, right? Absolutely perfect weather at kickoff here in Boulder. How big is special teams? How big are special teams today for Nebraska specifically, right? We've talked about it. That's one of the greatest ways to take the air out of a stadium is with a big special teams play. How big is that for Nebraska today? Tristan Alvano making field goals and converting into points when Husker drives potentially stall out, but then also on kick and punt returns.
It's huge because if you look at the TCU game, TCU had a big return against Colorado. Nebraska had a big return against Minnesota. So ultimately, one thing that has to happen, right, is Nebraska needs to win the special teams battle, the field position battle. The kicking battle, we got to be excellent on our extra points and field goal opportunities.
Yes,
and we have to do really good in coverage. They got speed back there, and so that they're going to have the potential to take it. Because first of all, they got the best punt returner ever to play the game of football. That they're going to put somebody back there that can take it to the house. And under pressure, if they need a big return, Travis Hunter might be back there at punt return.
I can't hear him.
Yeah, unfortunately, I talked to us on here.
Yeah, that's right.
We'll take a break here in a second. But, yeah, it should be a big factor. Special teams is going to be huge today for Nebraska.
Right.
I was hoping that Nebraska would get 15 more yards that last drive and see if Alvano could handle pressure on that final kick against Minnesota.
Yeah, or they were on their way.
The pick happened, so you don't get that. But today, you're going to have to make it. Last time out here, Nebraska.
Hey, the ball travels farther out here. Jake.
Nebraska had some problems kicking here last season or 4 years ago. In overtime, they
they refused to put the kicker out there.
They got sacked. They had to kick it, and it was pulled way left because it was another backup kicker because they injured to Barrett Pickering. Yeah, that was a disastrous year.
And how he got hurt.
Yeah.
Is a 30 for 30.
It was a disastrous season for Nebraska special teams. We hope that we get to see Alvano kick today and have some success kicking and get that confidence. We saw him play in high school.
Oh, yeah.
He was a stud at Westside. We know he's got a big leg. He's got swag. He's got confidence. We just got to see him get a chance on the football field here today at Folsom Field.
Yeah, look, he's got to do his job, man. And if you're the starting kicker, I don't care if you're a freshman or not. I don't want listen, the excuses are over. All right, in my book. You and Sip and Bill, you guys can do the excuse stuff. I don't got time for that.
Wow,
man.
all right.
Bill Bush, I love you, man.
We love you, Bill.
And Nick,
no. See,
you're
that's second
an
hand.
maker too.
Nah.
Listen, man, I'm just telling you that the game of football is what you make it. It's a great opportunity. It's everything that you want. You got to go take it. You're not giving anything. You're not the 94, 95, 97, 96 hustlers no more, right? But you can strive to get there. Colorado's in the way. Listen, man. These are the games that I used to love because I'm looking right across a dude that possibly could kick my butt. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
That's got to bring out if you're a true competitor, this ain't a game where if I see one guy helping the Colorado player up, I'm calling you out. This ain't a friendly game.
You want to play? Okay. All right, Jay.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. I ain't shaking your hand either at the corner.
He's going to Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
But no, so
Baker Mayfield.
Plant the flag.
We played Missouri in 1998.
Yeah.
I ain't shaking your hand.
Well, okay,
it's
so
like, hey, Nick,
plant the flag.
It's like that.
So guys, that's actually something I mentioned early in the week. Was like, I'm interested to see when Colorado jaws at Nebraska when they talking across the line. Yeah. How does Nebraska respond? Right. Because we know Colorado has all the swagger, and they backed it up in week one for what it's worth to a certain extent, especially some of their athletes. How does Nebraska respond in this environment with the energy and the magnitude of this game and people, basically coming at them on the field? How does Nebraska respond? I think that's going to be something interesting because if they fold, and if they fold early, it could get ugly.
Yep.
They won't fold. I think they're I believe in Matt Rule enough that they got him not folded. The thing is, will you answer, though? When you get punched in your mouth, will you answer?
What's the response?
And it's not just one response. Can you do it repeatedly?
Yep.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? Are you a man? Are you a mouse? Are you a champion? You're a chump. Look, there ain't no turning back now, man.
No.
I'm here.
There will be big plays.
Listen, there is no turning back now. Nope. You are on the bus, headed to Folsom Field. There is no turning back. All that stuff you talking all season, we got to see something all season, showing your arms and greased up and all that, right?
Yep.
Okay, I got to see something.
We are live at the Blur Events Tailgate, 26-1 Canyon Boulevard.
24-inch pythons.
I know. I got them going on. We'll take a quick break. Again, we are live on the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show. More next from Blur Parties on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nick, you go to get a sandwich?
Is your backyard ready for fun with friends and family this fall? GE Landscape Supply has pavers and boulders, which are a great accent for any backyard landscaping project. And you can find them at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere, nearby or far away. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
Is this you? You feel the same way every day, and it's not good. You may think there's a magic pill that can fix you. There isn't. Limitless Male has found that the majority of men who admit they feel bad are suffering with low testosterone, which can cause these symptoms: low energy, brain fog, belly fat, muscle loss, low libido. Sound familiar? Get your testosterone checked at Limitless Male. Your first consult is free. Insurance accepted.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Join us at this year's Ignite Lincoln 15 at Rococo Theater on Thursday, September 14th for an inspiring night of stories that spark change. Get your tickets at ignitelincoln.org. Don't miss this chance to be a part of something extraordinary.
It takes a great game plan to win a football game each week, and right now, it's time to plan a trip to get a new car at Mullen Motors. Just like on the football field, there's a wall of defense on the way to Mullen Motors. 48th Street is under construction from Layton all the way to Cornhusker Highway. But the lot at Mullen Motors is full of tons of great vehicles to drive home this fall for the ultimate touchdown. Mullen Motors, still open through road construction at 48th and Walker.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day, because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Don't allow uninvited guests to take over your home. Trust Bats to Rats for a peaceful and rodent-free living space.
For many Nebraskans, fall means cooler weather and longer days that include running kids around, cheering for your favorite teams, and long days at work. The hours on your feet can really add up and give unnecessary pain and discomfort. At Fleet Feet Lincoln, they help find the shoes and inserts you need with their Fit ID machine, which takes a 3D image of your feet. If you're having trouble finding the right fit, visit Fleet Feet Lincoln at 77th and Pioneers.
All right, Rico, let's do the final checklist before we head out. We have a lot of people coming to the tailgate today.
I'm ready.
Burgers?
Check.
Chips?
Check.
Icy cold beer?
Check. Except this one.
I'm forgetting something. Wait a second. Where's the Führer's cheese spread?
I can't stop eating it.
Rico,
relax. I always pack extra. It's the biggest hit of the tailgate.
For the best appetizer, party dip, and tailgate snack, load up on Führer's cheese spread today. Found in most local grocery stores.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza, the big one, all the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
Repeat after me. I will not touch the fuse box.
I will probably not touch the fuse box.
Sip, do you remember what happened last time?
Yeah, I remember.
What happened?
Half of the city block lost power.
And?
My chicken condo went haywire.
That's right. The chickens ran wild. So what do we do instead?
Call Joe at Ambition Electric and let him handle everything. Look, saved on speed dial.
Ambition Electric, 402-217-3415 or online at ambitionelectric.com.
Accelerate your financial journey. With Kasasa Cash, experience the thrill of earning more with each transaction or the freedom to withdraw your cash from any ATM nationwide. Not to mention, no monthly service fees. It's the power of earning up to 5.5% APY on your Kasasa Cash with Liberty First Credit Union. Earn rewards beginning at a penny, continuing up to $40,000. Visit libertyfirstcu.com for details. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose. Account qualifications apply.
Back to the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show. Sponsored by Sunbelt Rental.
There it is. We are back. All right, let me get this in here.
Oh, I was trying to make room for Jake. You know, we got to make the cookie. You know,
I know, right? We got the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show up here at Blur Parties. This segment is brought to you by Sunbelt Rentals. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Sunbelt Rentals, from lawn, landscape equipment to hand tools, pressure washers, portable generators, and much, much more. Sunbelt Rentals makes it easy to get what you need when you get it. Sunbeltrentals.com. DP, you are in the building. I want to ask you this.
Go ahead, give it to me.
I know you've been to Virginia Tech.
Give it
Houston,
to me.
Rice, Cowboys,
Army, Navy, Notre Dame, USC.
Where does this compare?
Okay, so here's what I'll say about this first.
Right.
The Huskers have painted Boulder red.
Red. Easily.
Right? It's a sea of red, and it's legit.
Like it's not speckled. It's not sparse.
Oh yeah, I think they've even turned Colorado fans to wearing red. I saw somebody down there that had a Colorado bag or something.
Yeah,
and the rest was a Husker stuff.
Yeah. I get through coming through a hotel and then around the perimeter, and to see it looks like Haymarket.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It looks like Haymarket.
Here. Blur's doing a really good job of really setting it up, and the people that have bought tickets and come in, they're going to have a good time. What, 2 15-foot TVs?
Man.
So you got it both ways. They got TVs here. They got 8 TVs here, or 4 TVs here, or 8 TV, or 4 on the other side. A total of 10 TVs and plus more. It's good. But what's your key? Look, sometimes, we talked last night, and when you came in, and then you get to sleep on it. Now it's game day. We're not playing, but we also sometimes something can pop in your mind in the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
What's your feeling going into the game? What's going to be the keys? We know pressure is on upon them, but what's the keys for Nebraska to pull out this victory today?
So I'm a Talking Heads fan. I'm a David Byrne, burning down the house sort of dude.
Okay.
Stop making sense. And it says there's a song that he sings, and he chops up and down his arm and said, "Same as it ever was, same as it ever was, same as it ever was." Football is cyclical, but Nebraska football is 100% consistent, and that the big boys up front have to set the tone, and the coaching staff has to make sure that you control the controllables. No silly turnovers, like the basic things. But if the fat guys have a good day for Nebraska, everybody else from Nebraska will have a good day.
Right.
The big boys on both sides of the ball. This has to be, Prohaska's available.
Yeah.
Now, I can't wait to get down to the stadium to see them come out of the locker room and see who takes that first rep at left tackle, because that's going to tell us a lot, right, about how he's doing. To also see what's going to be the flow without Ty Robinson for the first half.
Yeah. What's going to be the substitution patterns?
What's the rotation, right? Can you get the guys in?
Yeah, and you're not playing at home. You got a smaller roster.
Well, it's all of the coaching additives that we can find to say, hey, man, you got to bring your own juice today.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Like, this is not – look, you can't rely on the 40% crowd from Nebraska. You can't pay attention to the media hype. You can't pay attention to Minnesota. You have one job to do today.
And that's win.
Look, for all the excuses in the world, not necessary. But my goodness gracious, Nebraska has an opportunity to rebrand itself,
right?
To reimagine itself, by knocking off the belle of the ball on national TV in front of the whole country. Look, it's that day. It's fat boy football today.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get it done, man.
That's the only way that Nebraska is going to be able to, level the playing field, right? So I think it's going to be huge for, number one, is the identity, right, of Nebraska to, get back and be truly physical. But then also, don't coach scared, right? Look, you had some guys that had bad games, bad decisions. But listen, if you want to, we got confidence in you to make it. We went and had an extra 2 days to get it right. And then we got healthy, which normally doesn't happen during the football season. You get Jamari Butler back. You get Nick Heinrich back. You get Teddy Prohaska, like you mentioned before. So even if Teddy isn't starting, when they came in and they had Jenkins as an extra tight end, well, that's a great way to get Teddy in and see where he's at, run blocking extraordinaire, move the line of scrimmage, overwhelm them with girth, play the clock game, move the chains, make Colorado come, and overload the box, and then give Jeff Sims and his receivers essentially elementary coverages, elementary situational passing games, and then that will open up his running game, and it's all led by, like you said, the big boys up front. Then on the other side, the defensive line, how the rotation is going to be, especially with the altitude and the speed that Colorado plays, is going to be huge in the first half. If it was the first quarter, one thing, but when you're there, I said it, when you're home, you can draw from guys. You could actually, if you got a young guy like a Van Poppel or somebody, you get to 4 games for the rest of it. Well, now you're on the road now. Be interesting who's going to have to, not only take those reps, but then you got to play well. because Ty Robinson was playing pretty effectively, especially in that first half of Minnesota. So it's not only that. So part of the reason of Minnesota or the defensive performance at Minnesota was Ty Robinson and crew playing pretty decent. He's gone.
I think a lot of it, and you said that it's those middle of the night thoughts that pop in your head, and Tony White has made a point of saying, I like to take something away from whoever we're playing, and if to give Nebraska the best opportunity to take something away and be successful would be, what if he dared Colorado to just run the ball? What if he forced them? He went 8 deep.
Yeah.
Right. You actually used that 3-3-5.
Right.
And forced, even if he was fluid in, hey, I'm going to take away the mid-level, so we're going to go 3-5-3.
Right.
Right? We're going to go cover 3, but I'm going to set 5 across to make it really difficult for Shedeur to just catch, step, throw. Catch, step, throw. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
The chess play between Tony White and Colorado offensively.
Yeah.
He can do some things. I'm not sure that Colorado's built to beat Nebraska running the ball, but I kind of want to see if Tony White will force them to do that.
That would be a great curveball, even if you only did it for a series or two.
Yep.
Then because really it gives you a chance to really locate their speed, get used to their speed, you get a free glance at their passing concepts without the, ideally now in theory, of the chances of giving up a big play. But you got to still execute, because as much as Tony White might have that in the middle of the night thought, like we have, it's been discussed. You assume that they have adjustments made, and Colorado has capable runners, right? And the worst thing that could happen for Colorado, it'd be great for Nebraska, is Nebraska does run some sort of defense where you're making Colorado stay in front of you and play. It's kind of like what we used to do against the Colts, make you drive 80 yards by just systematically going in, right? Because they like the big play.
Just buy 1,000 paper cuts, right?
And then if Colorado chooses to run the ball, and say Nebraska's in a 3-man front, with the linebackers, a little deeper, and then somehow Nebraska stops them running the ball, that not only will get you off the field that series, but what it does is it takes your confidence. And then you're going to have people start looking, because they're not used to it. And so
they can take the crowd out of the game. If you turn it into a running game,
right,
you're going to get people sitting on their hands a little bit when they come to see the offensive explosion.
It's going to be huge.
Yeah.
And the offensive line, has to be huge, because you can't – this is not – I always say that one of the biggest complaints I have with some Nebraska teams in the past, or just the recent, is they ooze into the game, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want you to be like, you got a big gallon of milk and you knock it over. I want the whole thing poured off in the beginning and empty your tank, because when you ooze into the game, and I felt a little bit like that in Minnesota, where it's in the middle of the second quarter and they're like, oh, man, we're just as good as these dudes. Well, you just wasted a quarter and a half, wondering. You know what I'm saying? And so it'll be interesting to see how they start.
That goes into that, hey, he's more interested in finishing well than starting well.
Right.
That's why I had so much issue with it. That's why I had so much issue with it.
I understand,
because I want today, I need them in the bag in the run game. I need them in the bag.
They have to win that.
I need them in the bag. Like, I need for this thing to come out. I want to see 2 tights. I want to see 2 tights and a fullback. I want to make Colorado defensively kind of lean away to what they thought this was going to be. And then defensively change up.
Yeah, you know it. You know it.
Yeah.
He got off easy, because I was headed to 2 that day. Yeah, you know what time it is.
Yeah, out here, you having flashbacks, aren't you?
Well, I know. Hey, listen, about the 43.5-yard line,
right?
where I had to end Rick Neuheisel's
close his day out,
career.
right?
He's like, you almost had to upsets. Not so fast, my brother.
No, bro, not gonna have it.
We're headed to the national championship. Thank you very much. 4th and 14. Yes, you broke the tackle.
Give me.
Yeah, come here.
Give me that.
See you.
Give me that.
That's right, baby. That's what we're going to do today. We're going to have somebody come out of the stack, make a huge tackle to end the game.
This is a Chief Borders MJ Sherman day.
Listen,
you said it yesterday.
It has to be.
Right? Like, it has to be that they fill up some of the space.
That's high. Yep.
To watch them in playmaker space. This is where one of those edge setters can get a pick 6. Right? Quick throw, right? Quick set, quick throw, get your hands up. You'll know how Nebraska's doing off defensively by the number of batted balls you get in play.
Batted balls.
Right, tip drill. We need the full thing.
And you know what else is huge today? Run after the catch stats.
Yeah.
They have got to hold Colorado under 60, 70 yards run after catch.
Man, they got to get him to the ground. They got to get him to the ground today.
But that's what the 3-3-5 is there. You're getting an extra athlete out there and a kind of a mid-sized guy. And so this is going to be interesting to see when all these guys, come in the depth of the roster, right? Special teams is going to be huge, right? Because of the altitude and being able to run. But also the guys that are backups, not starting, you're going to have to play a huge role today.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be called upon to do well and go in and play. There's no more, well, I'm not starting. It's okay. I gave up. I busted the coverage. No, you're not starting, but you're a player, and you're expected to uphold the standard. And so the standard is a standard, and they got to go for it today.
It's all of those players who are veteran players on the back on in that second level of the depth chart. The Tommy Hills have to step up today.
Right.
The Malachi Colemans have to step up today.
The Jalen Lloyds and everybody's got to make a catch.
Ramir has to be.
I
he has to be 1C today. He can't be RB3.
I think
he has to be 1C today. It has to, and you have to get production from all three of the running backs.
Mm-hmm.
Like that has to be. You have to get production from the tight ends. Listen, if the tight ends walk out of here today with 8 catches, you had a good day.
Yeah, you actually win the game.
Yeah,
because that's softening up the Colorado defense and setting yourself up for going back to the run game. And then you take the calculated shots down the field. You hit one big pass, I think it works out well for Nebraska. So,
but we want them. I want that Colorado offense standing on the sideline with their hands in the belt.
Yeah,
just trying to figure out, hey, when do we get to play?
Well, there it is, man. It's A1 Automotive Tailgate Pregame show up here in Boulder at the Blur party, pregame party. We're gonna go to break and come right back, get some. Our last and final thoughts before we take the trek over to the stadium and hand it off to our crew.
We're going to hand it over.
This is DP and Jay Foreman. We'll be right back.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
It takes a great game plan to win a football game each week, and right now, it's time to plan a trip to get a new car at Mullen Motors. Just like on the football field, there's a wall of defense on the way to Mullen Motors. 48th Street is under construction from Layton all the way to Cornhusker Highway. But the lot at Mullen Motors is full of tons of great vehicles to drive home this fall for the ultimate touchdown. Mullen Motors, still open through road construction at 48th and Walker.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness specialize in getting rid of people's pain quickly and permanently. For 31 years, they've been extremely successful with advanced techniques in pain relief using spinal adjustments and decompression, detoxification, diet and lifestyle modification, and more. They are fully equipped to handle the most seasonal athlete, weekend warrior, car accidents, strains, sprains, and more. Is there anywhere you're experiencing pain on your body, or are you fighting decreased energy and depression? Consult Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness first at 402-476-8619.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Join us at this year's Ignite Lincoln 15 at Rococo Theater on Thursday, September 14th for an inspiring night of stories that spark change. Get your tickets at ignitelincoln.org. Don't miss this chance to be a part of something extraordinary.
It's August, and that means summer is winding down and the kids are back to school with lots of fall activities coming up. All great things, but also cause lots of stress. Instead of letting your nerves get the best of you and cause uncomfortable tightness, get ahead of it all with a massage from The Body Shop. The Body Shop in Lincoln is your place for all types of massages. Deep tissue, hydrating, sports, Swedish, hot stone, aroma, and more. And don't forget about their couples massages.
Book your appointment today at thebodyshoplincoln.com. The Body Shop at 48th and A.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit. SCC's Discovery Days will give you the opportunity to experience SCC firsthand this fall. Discovery Days provide information about SCC's programs of study, how to pay for college, SCC support services, housing, activities, and more. A campus tour and lunch are provided. See your options at southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
All right, Rico, let's do the final checklist before we head out. We have a lot of people coming to the tailgate today.
I'm ready.
Burgers?
Check.
Chips?
Check.
Icy cold beer?
Check. Except this one.
I'm forgetting something. Wait a second. Where's the Führer's cheese spread?
I can't stop eating it.
Rico,
Relax. I always pack extra. It's the biggest hit of the tailgate.
For the best appetizer, party dip, and tailgate snack, load up on Führer's cheese spread today. Found in most local grocery stores.
For many Nebraskans, fall means cooler weather and longer days that include running kids around, cheering for your favorite teams, and long days at work. The hours on your feet can really add up and give unnecessary pain and discomfort. At Fleet Feet Lincoln, they help find the shoes and inserts you need with their Fit ID machine, which takes a 3D image of your feet. If you're having trouble finding the right fit, visit Fleet Feet Lincoln at 77th and Pioneers.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just a professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador online at prg-ne.com.
Back to the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show. Sponsored by Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador.
We are back. A1 Automotive Tailgate Pregame Show up here at Blur. It is packed. The energy is here. The sun is out. It is on and popping. Got Nebraska fans galore coming up and checking us out, getting free koozies, headbands, footballs, pins, etc.
We broke out the wristbands again.
Wristbands, right? Yeah.
Like we broke out, and the headbands.
The headbands have been a hit.
The
headbands have been a hit.
Those are bangers. Come on through.
Yeah, we got people getting live in action. You're not only getting pictures, you're on the YouTube. Here we go.
We got you on. You're on national TV now. There we go. Good
there
stuff
you
all
go.
the way around.
This segment is brought to you by Ben Bleicher with the Professional Realty Group of BHSS Ambassador. Whether you're buying or selling your home, you need someone you trust, contact Ben and his team of professionals at Professional Realty Group today to start the process at 402-419-6309. As you see the people getting in and out of our YouTube stream, DP, you're taking pictures. This segment might just be done.
Yeah,
so anyway,
it's all right. Showed up, man. They showed up. That's why we're here.
Hey, man, we appreciate it. But that lets you know right there, if there ever was any discrepancy of whether Nebraska fans were going to take over Boulder or Nebraska fans were going to support Matt Rule and those guys after disappointing last game, that's put to bed.
Yeah, the belief system is in pack. It's in full, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
To have the fans show up, there's no resistance here. There's no There's no low self-esteem happening.
This
here.
straight backs.
Husker Nation is 100% proud. It's loud.
Yeah.
And it showed up. And again,
It's amplifying.
Right,
This is just we're not even 8 o'clock in the morning. We still got 2 hours before it's on and popping.
They were up at 6 a.m. in the lobby.
Look at my man over there.
He got the
heard
look.
it.
He got the look.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
He said he's just getting cranked up. He probably got he got the Coors Light, Rocky Mountain Spring Water. Yeah, both of them over there. Yeah, I see you.
Turn them up.
Turn them up.
Turn them up.
We're just disappointed he only has one. Oh,
Yeah.
no. I see 2 more coming.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
No,
See
that's
there?
the
Yeah.
bartender. That's the bartender maintaining control.
Okay.
Because she said, I can't let you double fist at 7:45.
I got you. Yeah, I got
Right.
you. I got you. What did you just say? You're buying ones for your family and
Oh,
friends?
all the imaginary
Yeah.
friends that
Yeah.
don't exist.
Yeah.
That's who you're buying beer for.
Well, anyways, DP, I mean, look, the hay's in the barn. I mean, the message to the teams are going to be the same. I mean, all the hoopla is great, but once you kind of come out of the locker room, that stays out of the stadium. They talk about, blocking out the noise, whether you're Nebraska, Colorado, you got, Washington State against Oregon State. You got Texas, Alabama. You got Ole Miss, Tulane. You got to block out the noise. You got Notre Dame against NC State. You look, at the end of the day, you do have to block out the noise. And that's the great thing about the games, because all that stuff goes away. It's great, for the universities and the football programs. The team should be ultra confident, knowing when they drove to the game, they know they saw a ton of red, right? And they got the support. I'm sure they had some sort of pep rally close or by their stadium last night. But what's really going to make this a magical day is they go out there and execute the game plan that Matt Rule and coaching staff has set forth to a higher percentage than what the Buffs, led by Deion Sanders and their players, has set forth. And if they do that, they'll be just fine. I think the closer and the tighter the game and the more game you kind of make it ugly, actually Nebraska has the ability to end up. I don't think it's going to be a 3-point game. And here's why. I think if the game's closer, say Nebraska is up by 3, I think the pressure gets on Colorado. They aren't really equipped to play like that. Nebraska gets a turnover or something in Colorado's territory, then you're able to win by 6 or 10 points. That's how these games usually work. And then, on the scoreboard, you think it's a blowout. No, you just blew them out in execution, and that's what this game is going to come down to.
A big part of the Matt Rule branding has been the final detail, was just executing.
Right.
You can go through all of the install, the teaching, the culture, the building of the culture, the belief system, but then ultimately the final box that has to be checked in every Matt Rule thing,
right,
is the ability to execute when called on.
Right.
And that's for everybody.
Yeah.
To execute when called on. And it's not specific to Jeff Sims.
No.
It's not specific to Ty Robinson. It's not specific to Malcolm Hartzog. It's every single Husker.
Right.
Just like every Husker fan feels like they have a voice in the game and have a voice in the way that this thing played out. The reality is every single Husker has to step up and do their thing today.
There he is. There he is. Terrell O'Farley.
Yeah.
The black leprechaun, the man who used to get some lucky bounces and touchdowns, has been in the building.
Black
Finally,
shirt, black
my
shirt,
man is
baby.
in the building.
Black shirt. Black shirt.
Oh, is he? He made his appearance.
Oh, you got to fight his way through the crowd now. You guys have that effect on the room.
Hey, look, man, it's being up here in Boulder, man, brings back some good memories. I told you we had a lot of real estate up here. Ben Bleicher is the sponsor for this segment. There's me, Farley, and Rashawn. Look at Rashawn.
Look at your boy.
I mean, at some point,
it's your boy.
At some point, Ty.
It's your boy.
He said he bringing us.
It's your boy.
You bring a hard hat and lunch pail.
It's your boy.
What's up, Husker?
Hey, man, it's on, man. I mean, it's only 2 hours away. It's been a long time coming. The fans are excited. Obviously, got some alumni starting to get in here, and it's just
Wait a minute. I see the star shining. That can only mean one thing. Eric Strickland has made his way into the building. Stricky, baby. Eric, what's up, Stricky?
The $5 bet that I won is already back because I had bet $5 Strick wouldn't make it. He's in the building.
Boy.
I ended up even Steven this weekend.
Look, you've got the captain the black shirt, and the GOAT.
Yeah.
You got Eric Strickland. You got the Hall of
the
Famer.
left-hand assassin is in the building.
Right. Smooth butter.
Yeah, look
Smooth
at him.
butter Strick.
The two-step Timmy over there.
We got him.
Strick.
It's going to be
He's
that.
not look at it.
Look, man. Look. It's going to be that kind of day.
Yeah.
Down here, Bloor Party in Boulder. Listen, Husker Nation showed up. You painted Boulder red. I don't care what they said. You showed up and painted red.
My man.
Now it's time to get to work.
My man got a
now
hard
it's time
hat
to handle your
and lunch
business.
pail on.
Rebrand
Hard
your.
hat and lunch pail.
Look, man, rebrand
That's
your
what I'm talking
program.
about.
Let's get
I mean, my
let's
man
get it.
said he digging for gold today, man. That's good, man. Hey, we are about to head over to the stadium. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to have the multitude of other people on.
Yep.
DP, we got it's a 0.7 mile trek.
Yeah, we're
probably gonna take 30 minutes.
Yeah, with the crowd that's here,
Yeah.
at 100%.
Yeah, so we need a couple bodyguards, but we're gonna take a quick break and then let the black shirt get up in here.
Yes, sir.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers, and if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Don't allow uninvited guests to take over your home. Trust Bats to Rats for a peaceful and rodent-free living space.
Join us at this year's Ignite Lincoln 15 at Rococo Theater on Thursday, September 14th for an inspiring night of stories that spark change. Get your tickets at ignitelincoln.org. Don't miss this chance to be a part of something extraordinary.
For many Nebraskans, fall means cooler weather and longer days that include running kids around, cheering for your favorite teams, and long days at work. The hours on your feet can really add up and give unnecessary pain and discomfort. At Fleet Feet Lincoln, they help find the shoes and inserts you need with their Fit ID machine, which takes a 3D image of your feet. If you're having trouble finding the right fit, visit Fleet Feet Lincoln at 77 and Pioneers.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's home service ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
All right, Rico, let's do the final checklist before we head out. We have a lot of people coming to the tailgate today. I'm ready. Burgers? Check. Chips? Check. Icy cold beer? Check. Except this one. I'm forgetting something. Wait a second. Where's the Führer's cheese spread? I can't stop eating it. Rico, relax. I always pack extra. It's the biggest hit of the tailgate.
For the best appetizer, party dip, and tailgate snack, load up on Führer's cheese spread today. Found in most local grocery stores.
Babe, pack your bags. We're going to Vegas.
Vegas?
We just got the estimate from the wedding caterer, and we're going to have to elope.
Actually, Members Owned Credit Union is offering no-fee home equity lines of credit. We can borrow what we need with equity from the house.
Wait, so we can keep the bacon-wrapped dates for the cocktail hour?
We can keep the bacon-wrapped dates. From wedding bells to trekking the globe and everything in between, capture your dreams your way with a no-fee Members Owned Credit Union home equity line of credit. Learn more at membersownedheloc.org. Limitations may apply. Equal housing lender.
It takes a great game plan to win a football game each week, and right now, it's time to plan a trip to get a new car at Mullen Motors. Just like on the football field, there's a wall of defense on the way to Mullen Motors. 48th Street is under construction from Layton all the way to Cornhusker Highway. But the lot at Mullen Motors is full of tons of great vehicles to drive home this fall for the ultimate touchdown. Mullen Motors, still open through road construction at 48th and Walker.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
When it comes to tackling your fall projects, having the right equipment can make a huge difference. At Sunbelt Rentals, they have an extensive line of tools and equipment to help complete any job. From lawn and landscape equipment to hand tools, pressure washers, portable generators for you tailgaters, and much more. Sunbelt Rentals makes it easy to get what you need when you need it. Drop in to see the experts at 5450 Alvo Road in Lincoln, or visit sunbeltrentals.com today to learn how Sunbelt Rentals can make it happen for you.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to Oak Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet. 1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire, 402-560-6197.
Back to the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show, sponsored by Select Plumbing.
Yeah, mate.
We're back here on the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show. Nick Sainer, Terrell Farley, and Vershawn Jackson with you guys here from Blur Parties. Come on down if you're listening in Boulder. If you're on your way to the stadium, stop on by, say hello. We got plenty of swag and plenty of Husker fans in the nearby vicinity. This segment sponsored by Select Plumbing, now servicing Seward and Milford, in addition to Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area. For any plumbing issues, call Select Plumbing at 402-542-5319. Gentlemen, it's game day. All the talk that we've been doing over the last couple of days and weeks is about to subside, and the fellas are about to play today, just a mile away from where we're at right now.
All bets are off. There's no more talking. Yep. There's no more yah, and who cares about the celebrities? Guess what? When the whistle blows, it's go time. Mm-hmm. It's time to strap it up. I'm hoping to see a rock'em sock'em, run down your throat, high energy, hit them in the mouth, 11 guys around the ball game.
Terrell, I mean, when we're coming into this one here, and I want to get your opinion on this as a former linebacker yourself, right? How important is the linebackers in today's game, right? Because Colorado, with their athleticism on the perimeter, on the edge, right? There's going to be a lot of underneath routes. There's going to be a lot. How important is it for linebackers in that situation to make sure that they got their matchups and they're on their P's and Q's and make an open field tackle?
Well, for once, I think this is going to be one of the best tests they're gonna see this year, because you got a back. My main concern is the back coming out the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
Edwards is a guy that can really run fast, and I hope that we have a linebacker that can stick on him man to man. Now you're gonna also have to help get your linebackers to help keep containment.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot these linebackers have to do. They're going to have to be on their feet all day. They're going to have to switch in and out mostly all day to keep fresh linebackers in the game for this high-powered offense.
Yeah, and that is going to be the high-powered offense, right? And me and Jay talked about it a little bit. You guys, I'm sure, have talked about it. Nebraska's best defense is their offense in today's game, right? Because you got to figure out a way to give your defense the ample amount of rest, right? You got to figure out ways to make sure that your defense isn't out there a lot longer than your offense is.
Yeah, we talked about this all week, ball control.
Yeah.
Ball control. I'm talking about drives that last 7-8 minutes going down the field, 12, 13-play drives. We need Colorado offense off the field. The more things we can do to Travis Hunter on defense, block him, knock him down,
just rough them up. He'll be less effective on the offensive side. Now, with that saying, we got to get out on third down. We got to get off the field on third down. We got to get our offense running real good. We got to get Jeff Sims comfortable. He has to be comfortable today.
Well, and Rashawn, I mean, with getting Jeff Sims comfortable, it's establishing a traditional run game with running backs like Gabe Irvin, Ramir Johnson, Anthony Grant in whatever capacity and whatever order. But it's also involving the tight ends as well. The Nate Borkachers, the Thomas Fidonis, and maybe even the Heinrich Harburgs have to be present and active in today's game.
Yeah, you got to get some bootlegs, make some things easier for the guys. Make Jeff Sims be able to get outside the pocket.
Yeah,
Harburg definitely need to get some snaps at tight end more than just in the pass game. I think you get him involved in the run game, maybe as a decoy. But today I think it's going to be filled with guys got to make plays. Some guys going to have to step up.
Yeah,
and I mean multiple guys, and they're going to have to make plays. Because that's the only way you get it done against a high-powered offense like Colorado.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Some guys that need to step up today for the Nebraska Cornhuskers and Matt Rule's squad, right? We've heard all week Jeff Sims needs to play better. Jeff Sims needs better decision-making. We've heard that Malcolm Hartzog can't get beat when he has leverage on the out or on the inside. He can't let up a back corner post or whatever like it is. He can't allow that to happen today. We know that. Who are some guys that maybe we haven't talked about enough today that need to step up, one on offense and one on defense?
Billy Kemp.
There it is.
Billy Kemp is that guy that we need to slash through the offense. He needs to find a way to get open. Last week he was held to 0 catches, and that's not known for Billy Kemp. If you look at his stats, what's the school he came from?
Virginia.
You look at the stats. Billy Kemp is a 50, 60-yard reception guy a game, and he gets in there. He needs to get in there and do the right thing. Now, defense, I say that Nick Henrich is probably going to have to play a lot of this game and help slow down this Buffalo offense. We need to find a guy that can stick with the back that's coming out the backfield, because he is the dangerous guy on the field today.
Once again, we're here at Blur Parties. If you're listening to us and in the Colorado and Boulder, Denver area, make sure you come on out. This segment of the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show sponsored by Select Plumbing. Give them a call today at 402-542-5319. Nick Sainert, Terrell Farley, and now the Husker Hall of Famer Eric Strickland in the building as Rashawn stepped out for whatever reason today. But that's just kind of how we're doing it. We got plenty of people here, plenty of ticket folks, plenty of Husker fans right nearby as we're getting ready, and the energy is palpable, as they say, getting ready for the Huskers and the Buffaloes. Stricky, I'll ask you the same question that I asked Terrell. We've heard all week long, Jeff Sims needs to play better. We heard Malcolm Hartzog, and he can't get beat when he has some leverage on the inside and some help on the inside, right? We've heard that Nash Hutmacher's got to step up because Ty Robinson is out for the first half of this game. In your eyes, who's somebody that we're not talking about enough, one on offense and one on defense, that's got to step up today?
Well, I'll say one on the defense would be Gifford, for me. The reason being is they had 3 receivers that had 100 yards last week. For me, I believe our first 2 are good.
Yeah.
It's when we get into that third. I mean, I'm trying to figure out who that's going to be, that's going to step up and get isolated, where they're going to try to set up some matchups. I'm hoping that he can both help in the run game, but also be effective in the pass game. On offense, I'm looking for the running back game, the running back room, the whole room.
I would say the traditional running back game,
Yeah.
not the Russian running game, not the quarterback run. We know that's going to be there. We know that Jeff Sims is going to be able to make some plays with his legs, right? We can count on that, but we don't want to rely on that. That's
I want the
part.
whole room. And so here's something that I think could also be a matchup is Ramir Johnson out of the backfield.
Yeah.
We saw that he caught a big third down play last week. And what I would like to see him to run more angles, to run more similar to what I've talked about this before, similar to what they used to do at for the Patriots with their running backs out of the backfield, taking advantage of mismatch and setting up those mismatches to get those advantages.
Once again, Nick Sainert, Eric Strickland, Terrell Farley hanging out with you guys. It's a big Colorado party over by the stadium, but here at Blur Parties, it's a big Nebraska party. A lot of energy here in the little I guess, area that
Yeah,
we're
gonna make a parade to the stadium.
Absolutely, yeah.
And we're gonna parade all red. Then we're gonna parade back over here. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take the fight to the Colorado today.
Well, and that's the
something
thing
they don't understand what we're gonna do. We're gonna punch them in the mouth instead of sit back and wait for them to punch us in the mouth.
We need to do.
That's what's gonna have to do. This is a game right here. I don't think these kids understand the rivalry between Colorado and Nebraska, especially when Raffy runs on the field. It makes me so hyped today. I want to run over there and tackle Raffy my damn self. So, these kids got to understand what they're getting themselves into today, because not only is this year, it's next year too.
That's right. So, Terrell, one of the things I was talking about off air and a little bit on air is I thought that because of the long week, one thing, if I was the rule camp, I don't know what they did. They may have done this. They may not have. I would have played some old Nebraska and Colorado rivalry games, intense games, not the whole game's clips.
Yeah.
Just of the intensity of this rivalry, just to show them and give an understanding of what's about to happen on today.
Yeah, they have to go back to the early 90s. I'm talking about 90, 89, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95.
Yeah.
When Colorado and Nebraska was relevant. This is when two teams faced each other. One was number 2 in the nation. The other one was number 7 on the nation. Oh, Jingo!
That was pretty hot, so I'm not surprised it fell. But anyway.
But they have to go back to this rivalry when it was smash mouth football for both teams. When something was on the line, not just the Big 8 title, every title. So, now we got to see how we're going to play this out today.
Absolutely.
Yeah, guys, I mean, they just showed Nebraska. This place, there's a lot of people I've talked to that with the ticket prices so high to today's game, I mean, $500, some of them, I mean, even saw in the thousands for one ticket, right? Today, I think this place is going to be full of Husker fans, not just for pregame, but during the game. This place downtown here in Boulder, we're less than a mile away from Folsom Field, and we can feel the energy in favor of Nebraska. This is going to be a huge Nebraska party. Huge shout out to Blur Events, the Blur Tailgate, for having us out. College World Series was a blast back in June, and now, or I should say July, rather, I believe. And then now this today with us in Boulder is just unbelievable. We all got in safely, which is a good thing. That's all. Always just a thing we got to worry about. Once again, this segment sponsored by Select Plumbing, now servicing Seward and Milford, in addition to Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area. For any plumbing issues, call Select Plumbing at 402-542-5319. We are, about an hour and 45 minutes away from kickoff, if you can believe it. Gentlemen, guys, it was something that we talked about in the first segment that I discussed with Jake and Jay when we got things kicked off here, is that we've had so much energy, so much talk, so many discussions around this game. We know the national media have been talking about Colorado nonstop since they knocked off TCU last Saturday. This could be a good thing for Nebraska, as they're kind of playing the underdog in this game, both on the spread and in the discussions nationally and locally. Nebraska could really kind of sweep under the rug and come out with a victory today, and it'd be a big springboard, not only for Nebraska, for their program, for Matt Rule, and for this fan base.
Well, it definitely could change the national discussion about Nebraska
Absolutely.
football. I think that's why it's so important for this game, even to perform well.
Yeah.
Even if you do come up short, the national discussion needs to change and the narrative about Nebraska. And this is the day today in which they could do that. They can make it happen. It's up to them. They've got to look each other in the face. They've got to take the challenge and make a decision as to whether or not they're going to go out here and handle business or not.
Terrell, I mean, all week long we've heard nationally, right, that Travis Hunter's a Heisman front runner. Shadur Sanders is in the conversation. They have 4 receivers that went over 100 yards. If you're a Nebraska defender here, you're licking your chops because you have an opportunity to show the entire country and the world, because this is the biggest and this is the most watched game in all of college football and maybe all of football this weekend, despite NFL starting on Sunday, right? So if you're a defender and you're a black shirt here in this situation, and if you were playing Terrell, how much are you licking your chops going, I have a chance to show everybody Travis Hunter who? Shadur Sanders who? I'm here. Quentin Newsom's here. Malcolm Hartzog's here. Talk about us, not talk about them.
Well, I'm always up to play in the big show game. So, this is a game you tie your shoes up tight. Hey, you bounce around, you get some prep in your step. You go out there and you show them what you're about. I mean, these are the games that, national televised games that you want to get off on, that you want to score a touchdown on, that you want to break up a pass, you want to block a punt. So this is what you live for, and this is what you play college football for. Now we got to get that winning attitude in Nebraska, and I hope today is the day.
I have to agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, guys, I guess key to the game before we take a little bit of an early break here. Once again, we're live here at Blur.
Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness specialize in getting rid of people's pain quickly and permanently. For 31 years, they've been extremely successful with advanced techniques in pain relief using spinal adjustments and decompression, detoxification, diet and lifestyle modification, and more. They are fully equipped to handle the most seasonal athlete, weekend warrior, car accidents, strains, sprains, and more. Is there anywhere you're experiencing pain on your body, or are you fighting decreased energy and depression? Consult Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness first at 402-476-8619.
Allo is here to give you the FYI. Are your shows buffering? We know why. Are your games lagging? Don't deny. Are your work calls dropping? Here's the FYI. Your old school internet company can't keep up. They give it a try. Their network isn't enough. Don't get trapped in their gimmicks and lies. It's time to fiber your internet with Allo. Honest, local, and hassle-free is what we stand by. Experience Allo Internet. Visit allofiber.com/FYI.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Our sales, precision ag, parts, and service teams are ready to serve you this planning season. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
The dog days of summer are here. Is your yard in need of a touch-up as we head into the fall season? August, September, and October are the months for aeration, and Penner Sprinkler and Lawn is the place to call to get the job done right. If you're noticing any issues with your sprinkler system through the hot summer months, they're always a call away, and they're already scheduling installs for sprinkler systems for next year and all other lawn care needs. Call Penner Sprinkler and Lawn today at 402-413-1215.
LES is hosting an EV Ride and Drive event at Haymarket Park on Sunday, September 24th. Attendees can sign up to test drive a variety of electric vehicles. Visit les.com/drive to learn more.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive. Always honest answers.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's home service ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire, 402-560-6197.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday night from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Join us at this year's Ignite Lincoln 15 at Rococo Theater on Thursday, September 14th for an inspiring night of stories that spark change. Get your tickets at ignitelincoln.org. Don't miss this chance to be a part of something extraordinary.
Accelerate your financial journey. With Kasasa Cash, experience the thrill of earning more with each transaction or the freedom to withdraw your cash from any ATM nationwide. Not to mention, no monthly service fees. It's the power of earning up to 5.5% APY on your Kasasa Cash with Liberty First Credit Union. Earn rewards beginning at a penny, continuing up to $40,000. Visit libertyfirstcu.com for details. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose. Account qualifications apply.
It takes a great game plan to win a football game each week, and right now, it's time to plan a trip to get a new car at Mullen Motors. Just like on the football field, there's a wall of defense on the way to Mullen Motors. 48th Street is under construction from Layton all the way to Cornhusker Highway. But the lot at Mullen Motors is full of tons of great vehicles to drive home this fall for the ultimate touchdown. Mullen Motors, still open through road construction at 48th and Walker.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Back to the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show, sponsored by Jimmy John's.
Back in studio, having some technical difficulties out in Boulder. Austin Norman, Enrique Alvarez, Clary with you here, holding down the fort while we wait for the guys to get reconnected. Man, remotes. What can you do sometimes?
Hey, especially when there's a whole bunch of people, which it seems like, either we're the life of the party or we just keep going where there's a lot of people. I like to think it's the first part there.
Well, there's a lot of people because we're there.
Exactly.
Yeah. Cause and effect.
You're
Chicken and
welcome,
egg.
Boulder.
Absolutely. This segment of the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show brought to you by Jimmy John's. Earn a free Jimmy John's sandwich after your first order when you sign up for Freaky Fast Rewards. Start now at jimmyjohns.com or inside the app. About an hour and a half away from kickoff in Boulder. We are anxiously awaiting it. Huge game between the Huskers and the Buffs. Rico, I heard the guys talking a little bit, and this is something I want to touch on here. They said this could be a turning point for the program. It could be the spark that it needs.
Mm-hmm.
I totally get the sentiment. I'm going to push back a little bit.
Okay.
I don't think that's something we'll be able to determine now. I think this is a program that has to go a week at a time. It can be a big win. It can be a springboard. It can feel good in the moment. But it seems like every time we get to a game like this, it was the same thing in 2018, the same thing in 2019. Oh, Nebraska wins this game. Okay, watch out. We're coming. This is the spark. It's going to take off. And I feel like that's where Colorado is too. Like they beat TCU. Okay, there's the spark. Colorado's back. They're good to go. Maybe it's week one overreaction, but I've heard the same song and dance from Nebraska for so long. I think fans are so anxious for Nebraska to be back that they kind of jump the gun sometimes.
But now I agree with you. I know we have to sit here and we have to wait after the game is over and a couple weeks down the line to see. But that's the thing is you look back and you look at this Colorado game, and if Nebraska goes on a run, God forbid, Lord forbid this city burns down if they beat Michigan. If that ever happens, but you'll look back at this Colorado game, all of the hype surrounding it, all of the celebrities in town. There's 4 NBA players, former Colorado Buffaloes in town. Shannon Sharp was on his private jet and he flew into Boulder, Colorado. So Shannon Sharp is going to be there. All the other people that Dion is bringing in. You have Coach Prime on the sideline. You win one game a season after winning one game the season prior, and you're up at the 22nd in the nation. Like, everything surrounding this game just builds it up so that if Nebraska does win it, even if it's not, even if you look at it and be like, oh, maybe Colorado wasn't that good, just everything surrounding it and the atmosphere in Boulder right now could be that springboard, could be that spark to get Nebraska, at least turning onto the right path. Maybe not onto it. Maybe this isn't the spark that gets Nebraska right back into prominence, but this could be the spark and the springboard that lets Nebraska know, like, hey, we can actually do this, because you've had so many of these games. Like you meant, you've had so many of these games where it's like, if Nebraska wins this could get them right back, but they never win those games. They always win the games that maybe they should win, or they end up losing the games that they should win. Or, the Iowa game to end the season last year, people thought, maybe this could be a springboard, but then the coach that was the head coach at that time isn't even coaching with you anymore. So that kind of tore all of that. No matter how much you want to say, the last game that Nebraska, before the season started, the last game Nebraska played, they won. Everything was taken away from there because you lost your starting quarterback, you lost your best receiver, you lost your head coach, you lost your almost entire coaching staff. Everything from that team gone. So this could be finally, if things go the right way, the springboard for Nebraska to get right.
I just think there needs to be some nuance when we say, this is the spark, this is it for the program, because I still don't think this is even the biggest game on the schedule. It's the biggest game this week. Absolutely, because it has to be. I still think, a potential win over Michigan would do more, as unlikely as it is. Even a win over Iowa. Like, I get it. Colorado's the historic rival, for a lot of people that, listen to this station. Oklahoma for the generation before that. I still think Iowa is going to be the defining rival for Nebraska of our lifetimes. That's just where I fall. So, again, don't get me wrong. This is a big game. It's an important game.
Yeah.
But I think it's mostly important for this team in the context of this season. And we'll be able to look back in 5, 10, 15 years if Nebraska wins and say, hey, they found something there. Hey, they turned it around there. But that's not a determination we'll be able to make today, tomorrow, even the rest of this season. It can mean something for this team. I really hope it does.
Yeah.
I just don't think this is today something we can call a program-defining day.
I mean, everybody looks back at 2001 and it's just like, that loss to Colorado, even though Nebraska played in the national championship that year and had a Heisman winner. They're like, that loss to Colorado was the turning point for Nebraska, and they've never been the same. It's like, well, after that game, you still played the national title, but if you want to do that. So,
but we didn't call it that in that moment.
Exactly.
It took a while for us to figure that out.
I do agree with you, but I do think, again, just everything surrounding it and the lack of nuance when talking about this game, and the fact that every single, sporting news outlet has been mentioning this game. And oh, by the way, Texas and Alabama played today. I don't know if you knew that.
Who?
Exactly. Like and that one's on the, the 4-letter network, but people are focused on Boulder, Colorado, and Nebraska's a part of it. And yes, it's mostly Dion and Prime Time and Travis Hunter and Shadur Sanders and all of this. But still, Nebraska's a part of this. And if they can go into Boulder and spoil the party, like you said, this should mean a lot for these players and for this coaching staff because, on one hand, this would be one of the maybe the first win over a ranked team for Matt Rule in his head coaching in college. And two, hopefully this gets Nebraska off the schneid, if it's a close game, of losing those coin flip games. Of dropping those games in the last couple of minutes, the last few seconds of a game, and ending up on the wrong side of how did that happen? So when you look at this game, yes, it's just big in the moment. It's just big on the day. But hopefully by the end of the year, we can look back and say, hey, you know what? That Colorado game really did something for this Huskers team and really turned this season around. I know it's the second game of the season and you're 0-1 and you played a hard-fought game against Minnesota. But still, starting 1-1 is better than 0-2. We all know that.
It sure is. I'm glad you brought up the hype around this game, too, and everything that's going into it, because I think a lot of Nebraska fans want to believe that the hype is there because it's the Nebraska brand, and Nebraska has an equal share in this game being as big as it is. I don't think that's true right now. The brand historically for Nebraska, clearly better. We've done the resume comparison for these two schools a million times before. But the hype of this game is coming from the Colorado side. I think Colorado likes that, and I think Nebraska likes that. I've said all week, I'm not as worried about Colorado in this kind of mindset coming off a big win because of who their head coach is. But I also think that Nebraska with Matt Rule is better as an underdog than a lot of previous other coaches, right? Scott Frost, I think, tried to play up that underdog mentality, but with that air of confidence that, hey, we're coming, get us now, right? Knowing
you better get us in year one.
That's what I'm saying, right? So I think he acknowledged they were the underdog, but didn't ever want to truly believe it. Mike Riley just always was the underdog. His teams literally always were, coming from Oregon State.
There's just no way around it.
And he coached like it. That's just what his teams were, what his programs ended up.
Hey, guys.
And Bo Pelini, I think, even had some of that too, where I think Bo his teams were motivated by the seeming disrespect that they, got from whatever source they were going to make up that week, the us against the world mentality.
It's like Georgia saying that nobody picked them to win last year.
Right. But that underdog mentality under Bo is so incredibly different, right? I think Matt Rule's embracing it, whereas Bo is kind of his teams were using it as like spite, but also kind of making it up at the same time, because Nebraska was favored more than they weren't back in that day and time. So truly embracing being the underdog isn't something Nebraska has really ever had to do, or had a coach that I think understands what it means and understands the approach of being a true underdog like Matt Rule does.
Yeah, like you said, Matt Rule's got a ton of experience with that at Temple, at Baylor, especially, those first 2 years taking over for Baylor. But yeah, Nebraska, you think of the brand of Nebraska, you don't think of an underdog, but that's just kind of how it's been, with the previous two coaching staffs. Just because, like you said, with Riley, it's always been like that for Riley. And with Frost, it was one of those where, yeah, he was the coach of the year and he was undefeated, but is he ready for Power 5 football? Which is kind of what people and it's weird because people associate that with Deion, where he comes from Jackson State and he goes to Colorado and, is he ready for Power 5 football? And he comes out and, again, one game and wins his first game against another Power 5 opponent. So now all of the hype, all of the swagger, all of everything is surrounding the Colorado fan base, the Colorado team, all up in Boulder. And Nebraska comes in with this history, which is rich history, with this, disgustingly one-sided winning advantage over Colorado, and is the underdog. And although Husker fans and Colorado fans have never really gotten along, I think that truly ruffles Nebraska fans in the wrong way. Like, they do not like being the underdog, especially to a Colorado team, even if Colorado is ranked higher, even if Colorado has a win has one win and Nebraska doesn't have a win this season. So it's a weird dynamic right now for Nebraska fans, but they're still, pouring their all into this team. And you see, I don't know if you were on Twitter earlier, and the student section for Colorado got in, they're doing the Buffalo Run or whatever they called it, and Nebraska got in and they met at midfield and were greeted with some very friendly chants from the Colorado student section. So even if they're favored, they're going to act as if they're still underdogs.
Okay, so
which is going to be weird because we've heard it from multiple people. I mean, DP said Deion's been a winner everywhere, everything that he's ever done. He's been really, really good at it. So I don't know. And right now they don't have that underdog mentality. They had that underdog mentality at TCU, which I don't know how Deion really takes that, but it must be a strange feeling for some of the holdovers from the Colorado team, the like 5 holdovers from the Colorado team from
there are
last
dozens
season.
of them. Dozens. No, there aren't dozens. I want to touch on the Nebraska aspect of that, because Nebraska had, intermittent success before Devaney got there, up and down. Then you kick off this, 30, almost 40-year run that's basically unparalleled across sports. Basically, you're looking at Nebraska, Ohio State, and Alabama in terms of that run being sustained the way it was. Nebraska fans, I think, understand they're the underdog, but I don't know just how much Nebraska fans have embraced the underdog role, right? I think Nebraska fans, I think it's getting better, but I don't think it's by choice. I think it's by the fact that it's been, beaten out of them. They've been beaten down.
Been forced into it.
Right. There comes a natural sort of humility with being the underdog, of knowing your place in the world. And I'm not saying you have to settle for it, but think about all the great teams that have been at the top, that have gotten knocked down, and then have had to climb back up, right? You have to remember what got you to the top. You have to understand what it was. But by doing that, it doesn't mean you have to, forget about, acknowledge, close your eyes to what's going on in the present. Remember the past, accept the present, acknowledge the reality, and then you build and you climb, right? I still think there is a little bit of that residual sort of arrogance, and some of it you need, right? You speak it into existence,
There's
fake it till you make it. There's definitely an aspect of that.
There's a thin line between confidence and arrogance, and you have to figure out how to toe that line.
I think Nebraska fans are getting better about that. I still think there's just a little bit more that needs to go to truly embrace being the underdog, embrace the climb, right? These are problems that, plenty of dozens of college football teams and programs face, what Nebraska is going through. Record in 1-score games, yeah, sure. You can say that's unprecedented. I get it. But in terms of, internal turmoil, of strife, of suffering through losing seasons, of being close, of not having that breakthrough win, These are normal college football problems that Nebraska hadn't experienced for the longest time. And now you're going through it again, right? It was going to happen eventually. It sucks that it's happening to us right now. What I wouldn't kill to experience what my parents did. It'd be great.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
But here's the thing. What's happening is normal. This is normal college football. It sucks. We got to get used to it, and we just got to wait and figure out how to climb.
There are very few programs that haven't felt this type of pain at some point during the entire existence of their program. And like you said, Nebraska fans are getting better at it, but I feel like it's going to be damn near impossible for at least the older generation of Nebraska fans to even come close to maybe not accepting, but just being slightly okay with, we suck now and we will get better as things improve, because they've experienced, as you said, all of that success from Devaney to Osborne to the small stretch of Solich. And then after that, everybody that was born, during that or a little bit after that time has experienced the best team of Nebraska in their lifetime that they probably have been sports knowledgeable is that 2009 Nebraska team, which still had 3 or 4 losses.
Okay, a couple guys on the text line here are going at me for this. I'm not saying accept mediocrity. I'm not saying embrace it. I'm saying acknowledge the reality. I'm not saying settle. I'm saying hold this program to higher standards, right? What I'm saying is you're in the middle of a desert right now, right? There's not an oasis right there, okay? There's no oasis in the desert. It's a mirage, right? You have to admit sometimes that it's a mirage, right? When the end of the desert comes and you find civilization again and there's a cold drink of water waiting for you, you'll know. You don't have to make it up. It's easy to see things. I'm not saying that, this is what Nebraska is, defeat us. No, Nebraska is just a bad program now. 6-6 is the ceiling forever. I'm not saying that. No one in the athletic department should be saying that.
No.
Fans, I get it. You shouldn't be saying that either, right? So don't misinterpret what I'm saying, right? Nebraska's ceiling isn't 6-6, 7-5. They're going to be lucky to get to 8-4 in the new Big Ten. There's more in there. It's been done before. It can be done again. But getting back to that point starts with acknowledging where you're at right now and building, 1% better day by day, all that stuff. That sounds a little corny and cliche, but is absolutely true at the same time.
What you have to do is not accept mediocrity, but accept the build. You have to accept that if it's not going to be great now, it might be great next year. If it's not great next year, it might be great the next year. But slowly and surely, hopefully, things will improve. Things will get better. And at some point, with all of the history that Nebraska's had, they're not a team that has never experienced success, so they don't know how to get there. They don't know how to deal with success. Nebraska's experienced a ton of success. So when they get close to it, the fan base, the ghosts of Huskers past will know how to handle it and will be able to hopefully guide Nebraska to a more positive side. That's all you're not a team like you're not an Indiana football where you have one good year and all of a sudden everybody thinks, oh my gosh, you're going to be great. And then you suck again. Nebraska has the potential, has the ability to be great and to sustain it. Why? Because we've seen it happen. Yes, things have changed. They're not the only team on television. They're not the first team to embrace strength and conditioning. They're not, leading the pack in any of these aspects. But the fact that it's been done here, the fact that Nebraska has that history means that people know that great things can happen in Lincoln, Nebraska, and they're not going to be afraid to build it and to keep it going at some point, whenever it gets there.
Absolutely. I think it's important to note, too, that I'll loop Texas into this because we can all, put horns down and laugh at them because they play in the second biggest game of the day. I remember Sam Ellinger after that bowl win saying, we're back, right? And every year it's the running joke, Texas is back.
Texas is always
Nebraska
back.
Can learn a lesson from that, and that's that if you have to consistently and always tell yourself that you're back, that you're here, that you made it, you've arrived, you're not going to be there. You'll know you're back to prominence, you're back to relevance when other people tell you, right? You're probably going to have to know it in your heart and not have it acknowledged for a little bit just because you're little in Nebraska. People will always want to see more because of where the program is right now. But the more primetime games, I say primetime on Colorado Day, of course, the more nationally relevant kickoff slots you get. The more games you get in Memorial Stadium that are legitimately charged atmospheres.
Big games.
You will know. It'll be a feeling more than it is words. And the reason I think it's important for fans to embrace that as well, obviously the coaches and the players have to take it day by day, is because as much as administrators, coaches, players say they block it out, they hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Social media is prevalent. Yahoos like me talk about it all the time, right? I'm not saying my voice carries weight, but I'm saying there's enough conversation about this program because of the place it holds in so many people's hearts that the conversation is out there. Players know what's being talked about. So fans, if you want to play a part, be patient, have expectations, try to hold them to it, but be realistic. It shouldn't be that big an ask.
It really shouldn't. It really shouldn't. But that's going to do it for our segment. I believe that they have everything squared away out in Boulder, and we can send it back out to them again. This segment brought to you by Jimmy John's. Earn a free Jimmy John's sandwich after your first order when you sign up for Freaky Fast Rewards. Start now at jimmyjohns.com or inside the app. That's going to do it for Austin and myself here in the studio. We're going to go to a break and send it right back out to Boulder.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Don't allow uninvited guests to take over your home. Trust Bats to Rats for a peaceful and rodent-free living space.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
For many Nebraskans, fall means cooler weather and longer days that include running kids around, cheering for your favorite teams, and long days at work. The hours on your feet can really add up and give unnecessary pain and discomfort. At Fleet Feet Lincoln, they help find the shoes and inserts you need with their Fit ID machine, which takes a 3D image of your feet. If you're having trouble finding the right fit, visit Fleet Feet Lincoln at 77th and Pioneers.
Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness specialize in getting rid of people's pain quickly and permanently. For 31 years, they've been extremely successful with advanced techniques and pain relief using spinal adjustments and decompression, detoxification, diet and lifestyle modification, and more. They are fully equipped to handle the most seasonal athlete, weekend warrior, car accidents, strains, sprains, and more. Is there anywhere you're experiencing pain on your body, or are you fighting decreased energy and depression? Consult Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness first at 402-476-8619.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
When it comes to tackling your fall projects, having the right equipment can make a huge difference. At Sunbelt Rentals, they have an extensive line of tools and equipment to help complete any job. From lawn and landscape equipment to hand tools, pressure washers, portable generators for you tailgaters, and much more. Sunbelt Rentals makes it easy to get what you need when you need it. Drop in to see the experts at 5450 Alvo Road in Lincoln or visit sunbeltrentals.com today to learn how Sunbelt Rentals can make it happen for you.
You're counting on your team to win, so why not prove it? By placing your bets at Warhorse Sportsbook, Their win is your win. Put your money where your mouth is on nearly every sporting event. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person at Warhorse Casino, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Babe, pack your bags. We're going to Vegas.
Vegas?
We just got the estimate from the wedding caterer, and we're going to have to elope.
Actually, Members Owned Credit Union is offering no-fee home equity lines of credit. We can borrow what we need with equity from the house.
Wait, so we can keep the bacon wrap dates for the cocktail hour?
We can keep the bacon wrap dates. From wedding bells to trekking the globe and everything in between. Capture your dreams your way with a no-fee Members Owned Credit Union home equity line of credit. Learn more at membersownedheloc.org. Limitations may apply. Equal housing lender.
It takes a great game plan to win a football game each week, and right now, it's time to plan a trip to get a new car at Mullen Motors. Just like on the football field, there's a wall of defense on the way to Mullen Motors. 48th Street is under construction from Layton all the way to Cornhusker Highway. But the lot at Mullen Motors is full of tons of great vehicles to drive home this fall for the ultimate touchdown. Mullen Motors, still open through road construction at 48th and Walker.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
All right, Rico, let's do the final checklist before we head out. We have a lot of people coming to the tailgate today.
I'm ready.
Burgers?
Check.
Chips?
Check.
Icy cold beer?
Check. Except this one.
I'm forgetting something. Wait a second. Where's the Führer's cheese spread?
I can't stop eating it.
Rico,
relax. I always pack extra. It's the biggest hit of the tailgate.
For the best appetizer, party dip, and tailgate snack, load up on Führer's cheese spread today. Found in most local grocery stores.
Back to the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show, sponsored by Lincoln Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits.
man, it is on and popping, as Jay Foreman would say.
Boy,
here at Blur Tailgate, the Blur parties out here, 26th and Canyon Boulevard in Boulder. Make sure you come out and hang with us. We are a little over an hour away from kickoff here. 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show. This segment sponsored by Lincoln Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits. Load up on all your tailgate necessities for beer, spirits, and wine at Lincoln Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits, just north of 27th and
don't stop.
There it is. Nick Sainer, that's Eric Strickland. And then we got a special guest, former Husker, just got done playing last year. Chancellor Brewington, what's up, man?
What's up? I appreciate you having me on, man.
Always a blast to talk to Chancellor, man. And we're going to get into this game that's about to kick off in a little over an hour. But first, guys, we got to do something really important, and we got to see how many Husker fans are really here. All right, so we're about to do a Go Big Red, and everybody that's listening is going to have to follow along, all right? Because we got a lot of people here at Blur Parties, and we about to make Buffalo fans know we're here. So here we go. Go Big Red!
Yeah.
Go Big Red! I think we're taking over Boulder. Everybody, nice work. Once again, this segment sponsored by Lincoln Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits. We are out here in full force. The drinks are flowing. The burritos are being consumed, as well as the runzas. And gentlemen, we got football in a little over an hour.
Oh yeah,
Chancellor.
Oh yeah.
This is a beautiful day, man.
Yep.
Like coming from where you've come from. You're local.
Mm-hmm.
You're from here, right?
No, I'm staying out here though, but I know how it is
But
now.
you know the
Yeah.
area.
Yep.
So what has been the change now that you're out here from what you've known it to be in the past?
Yeah.
Like, is the excitement something crazy out here right now? Now that Deion is and the Buffs are kind of changing the scenery around?
Yeah, it's definitely different. Deion added a different swagger to the community, and you really see people taking a hold of it and embracing it. it's really something beautiful. But I am a Husker, so it's a little different. It's a little different. So when I see them buff signs, I feel some type of way. You know what I'm saying? But it's all love. I like people embracing the rivalry. It brings a new element to the game.
Yeah, but one of the things is this is a big rivalry. Like as a young player, some people may not know and understand that.
Yeah.
Like if you were a coach, if you happen to be in that locker room, how would you be able to kind of disseminate that message for an understanding of what this rivalry really consists of?
Yeah, I think when we played Oklahoma, Frost brought in, a couple guys who played in that game from back in the day, the Jerry Taggy touchdown and stuff like that. So I would say just going over the history of it. I think history has a lot of meaning, and just getting guys to not to buy in, but to understand what the atmosphere is going to be like. And now that Deion's here, there's a different explanation of what it's going to be like.
That's a fact.
Once again, Nick Sainert, Eric Strickland, and Chancellor Brewington with you here on the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show as we are an hour and 7 minutes away from kickoff here at 10 a.m. local time kickoff, with all the eyes in the entire country going to be on Nebraska, Colorado today. It's a huge opportunity for the Huskers to kind of take a stand and show that they are here and they are ready to roll under new coach Matt Rule. All right, Chancellor. So as a former player and just getting out of it, right, you know what you're feeling at this moment, especially before a game like today. What's the emotions like? What are you telling yourself? What are you telling the guys ahead of Nebraska versus Colorado with a game of this magnitude when you know the stadium and the fans are going to be rocking?
Yeah, I don't. There's no pre-game speech needed. There's no amp-up speech. If you're not ready for this game, I would take off your helmet, take off your pads, and go home. That's me personally. But I think the only message you should be telling yourself is that there's no moment bigger than this. But also just to stay focused on your keys and stay disciplined. Win the battle between the ears. Because it's really going to be who executes best and who stays more polished throughout the game. It's the second game for both teams. So that being said, there are going to be a little bit of mistakes, maybe some breakdowns here or there, but it's the team that stays efficient and polished throughout the game.
Well, it's also a lot of how you respond, right? There's going to be a lot of adversity in today's game, especially with Nebraska being the road team. There's going to be a lot of adversity that they get met with, right? If there's a big play that Colorado strikes, it's going to be about how they respond and not compounding mistakes today.
Yep. Yeah, so I think it's all about the message that Coach Rule's been telling guys. It's what's next. What's next? The last play really doesn't matter. It's what's next. So if Colorado hits an explosive play, it's what's next. If we hit an explosive play, it's what's next.
Yeah.
Never dwelling on the past, staying in the present.
Well, and part of that is on a greater scale. It's about what's next, not about last Thursday's game or 2 Thursdays games ago, right? You got to put that on the back burner. Forget about that because now this is a new week. And as Matt Rule talks about, 1-0. You got to go 1-0.
Got to go 1-0. Got to.
What would you do in this game in your preparation? Like you yourself mentally in the room, how would you kind of take this all in and without allowing to have, because there's some things at stake. One, there's altitude that you've never had to deal with as of yet as a Husker.
Yeah.
And then
that's a good point.
It's an early game. Not normal.
Yeah.
So that preparation, and then the aspect of all of the intensity and the things going on mentally. If it was you in the room, how do you kind of mentally prepare for this space?
Probably on Friday, I'll probably wake up early. To be honest with you, I probably wake up around the time, Saturday we would play. Just to get yourself mentally going. But for preparation wise, it would just be standard procedure, man. You stick to the script. Nothing different. You should already be in shape coming out of camp, so conditioning shouldn't be a problem. As far as the mental side, if I was a defensive player, it'd be a little different. I'd be going over my keys a little bit more. I'd be studying what Colorado does on offense, studying their tempo, because that's one thing Colorado does good on offense is their tempo. They got TCU out of whack early, and that contributed to the first drive of the game, their success on that. So I would just say from a defense standpoint, knowing where to line up and getting there and getting set.
Now, I mean, I think one thing with the tempo, right, we saw with TCU last week, TCU got called on a lot of procedure penalties, 12 minutes on the field type of thing, right? Nebraska's got to be able. This is where the conditioning comes in. You got the altitude, which I guess, Chancellor, how much does that play into effect?
Plays a big role.
It plays a big role,
especially early.
So there you go. Yeah. So there you go. So
we saw the Denver Nuggets in the finals, right?
Bingo. So there you go. So once again, I mean, as Nebraska here, one thing about the tempo that I'm looking to see how Nebraska reacts and counters it is how do they control subs, right? Tony White used 15 to 18 guys on defense on the first possession against Minnesota. What's it look like today? Because Colorado doesn't, as we saw last Saturday, doesn't need to sub out a whole lot. They're going to try to get to the line, as Chancellor said, use their tempo against you. Nebraska can't get caught with 12 guys on the field multiple times, right? I'm sure there's probably going to be one, maybe even two, but they can't get caught subbing. They got to make sure that they got guys that are fresh and ready to get out there and go make a play.
Yeah, for sure. Especially with the 3-3-5, there's so many different substitutions. There's so many different packages you can get to. They switch to 4-3, a 3-4. So there's a bunch of different stuff, a bunch of different subs, and they rotate their DBs and they rotate their linebackers a lot. So just being keyed in on the sideline, not getting caught up in the hype in the crowd, and just being locked into what the coaches want.
Man, we are an hour away from kickoff, and we're hanging out here at 26th and Canyon Boulevard here in downtown Boulder, less than a mile away from Folsom Field. I just saw on Fox Big Noon Kickoff, Terrell Owens is here.
Yeah.
We got Shannon Sharp in Boulder. We got plenty of big names in Boulder, but Nebraska's just got to stick with
Emmett
what
Smith,
they
I think's
know.
in town, too.
Emmett Smith's in town. There's a lot of big names. Deion said that actually this week in his press conference. He's bringing a lot of friends in for this one. It's the home opener for Coach Prime and Coach Deion Sanders. There's a lot of energy here in Boulder. And then you add on the fact that Nebraska's in town, right? And Nebraska fans travel so well, better than anybody in the country. And they are showing out here at Blur. They're going to show out in Folsom Field, and we're going to have a good time. We're an hour away from kickoff. This segment sponsored by Lincoln Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits. Load up on all your tailgate necessities for beer, spirits, and wine at Lincoln Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits, just north of 27th and Superior. Now, Strictly, we talked about participating in the shot ski. Are we going to go find ourselves a shot ski participant?
I think
here?
I might be on.
All right, so we got to recruit a couple people. We're going to try to get we might have a couple of participants in the shot ski over here. We're going to see if Jake Sorensen wants to partake. We're going to go get that going. There'll be a video, I'm sure, participating and showing out on YouTube.
Oh, Jake's in the building.
How about that? So let's go ahead and take a break. 1 hour to go here on the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show before Huskers and Buffaloes from Folsom Field in Boulder. We'll be right back on 93.7 The Ticket.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Our sales, precision ag, parts and service teams are ready to serve you this planning season. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
The dog days of summer are here. Is your yard in need of a touch-up as we head into the fall season? August, September, and October are the months for aeration, and Penner Sprinkler and Lawn is the place to call to get the job done right. If you're noticing any issues with your sprinkler system through the hot summer months, they're always a call away, and they're already scheduling installs for sprinkler systems for next year and all other lawn care needs. Call Penner Sprinkler and Lawn today at 402-413-1215.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive. Always honest answers.
When it comes to tackling your fall projects, having the right equipment can make a huge difference. At Sunbelt Rentals, they have an extensive line of tools and equipment to help complete any job. From lawn and landscape equipment to hand tools, pressure washers, portable generators for you tailgaters, and much more. Sunbelt Rentals makes it easy to get what you need when you need it. Drop in to see the experts at 5450 Alvo Road in Lincoln, or visit sunbeltrentals.com today to learn how Sunbelt Rentals can make it happen for you.
It's football season, and that means coaches everywhere are busy making game plans. Hi, my name is Seth Morris with Liberty Law Group. Teams make game plans because no two opponents are the same. At Liberty Law, we know no two cases are the same. Whether it's a DUI, a criminal charge, or you were injured and it wasn't your fault, we tailor our legal game plan to meet your unique needs. We are relentless trial attorneys serving all of Nebraska. To learn more, go to libertylawnebraska.com. Again, that's libertylawnebraska.com.
All right, Rico, let's do the final checklist before we head out. We have a lot of people coming to the tailgate today.
I'm ready.
Burgers?
Check.
Chips?
Check.
Icy cold beer?
Check. Except this one.
I'm forgetting something. Wait a second. Where's the Führer's cheese spread?
I can't stop eating it.
Rico.
Relax. I always pack extra. It's the biggest hit of the tailgate.
For the best appetizer, party dip, and tailgate snack, load up on Führer's cheese spread today. Found in most local grocery stores.
Join us at this year's Ignite Lincoln 15 at Rococo Theater on Thursday, September 14th for an inspiring night of stories that spark change. Get your tickets at ignitelincoln.org. Don't miss this chance to be a part of something extraordinary.
It takes a great game plan to win a football game each week, and right now, it's time to plan a trip to get a new car at Mullen Motors. Just like on the football field, there's a wall of defense on the way to Mullen Motors. 48th Street is under construction from Layton all the way to Cornhusker Highway. But the lot at Mullen Motors is full of tons of great vehicles to drive home this fall for the ultimate touchdown. Mullen Motors, still open through road construction at 48th and Walker.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire, 402-560-6197.
Back to the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show, sponsored by Fleet Feet.
Back just under an hour away from kickoff, Nebraska, Colorado. We're at Blur Parties, 2601 Canyon Boulevard. It's a party. We just did the shot ski. We're fired up.
That was electric. I want to go again.
We are fired up. We are fired up.
I'll find 6 of my closest friends here that are all wearing red, and we'll get on the shot
We'll run
ski
it back. Eric Strickland, Nick Sainert, Jake Sorensen. This segment sponsored by Fleet Feet. You're on your feet a ton in the fall. Make sure you're in comfortable pairs of shoes to avoid unnecessary discomfort. Fleet Feet, Lincoln at 77th and Pioneers. This is the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show. We just had Chancellor Brewington on, former Husker tight end. Good stuff from Chance today. Strick,
yes,
good work there.
Great stuff, man. Just really got a chance to dig in a little bit, get the mentality, get the preparation, what's going to happen in the mindset of this type of game at this type of magnitude. So it was just good to have him to come on and share some of those thoughts.
Yes, it was. Again, we are just under an hour away. Now, I was watching earlier on the Big Noon pregame show, which, by the way, is probably a half mile away from us, just to the south. And I saw that Prime was on TV, doing a little pregame on TV.
Crazy.
It's just different.
Before
with
the
him.
game.
It's different.
But-
he has different rules than the rest of us, doesn't he?
That's a fact. And listen, there was that happened the same way when I played for the Dallas Mavericks when Dennis Rodman ends up coming to play on the team.
Wow.
The rules shifted and changed it. I end up missing my plane. Dennis misses the time for the plane to leave. They wait for him. They leave on me.
Oh,
you know
come
what I'm
on.
saying?
Trick that
So
ain't
that's
right.
the dog. That ain't even right. But that's the thing about it. One of the things is he believes in his coaching staff. He lays out the groundwork. He gives them their assignments. They go on and do it. So the coaching staff is an extended arm of him, which allows Deion to do what he does best.
That's right. Okay, we're now under an hour away from kickoff here in Boulder. Again, it has been a absolute party. Tons of people here at Blur Parties. Nick's got the towel.
We got the war towels going.
Nick's got the. Oh wow!
Oh, sorry.
Wow,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Is that your head? Your hand?
No, it was this little
Wow,
ringy
trying to give me a little earring over here. Actual earring.
All you heard was the ding.
Trying to puncture my ear. So as we get closer, guys, I'm curious. I've been talking to a lot of fans here, getting the sentiment, their vibe. They're concerned, they're nervous, but also there's optimism here. And here's what I've heard from most fans is there's several outcomes of today's game. The one that nobody sees, though, is a Nebraska blowout. It's Nebraska wins close, Nebraska loses close, or Nebraska gets blown out. Is there any chance that this sentiment that nobody sees could possibly happen? What's the best way that could happen?
You got to take the energy out of the stadium right from the get-go.
Yeah.
Big special teams play, whether that's a kickoff return, whether that's a kickoff return to the 35-yard line of Colorado. Special teams are going to be so big in this game, especially in the return game. We saw what Nebraska did last game out against Minnesota. Ramir Johnson, after the abysmal first half that Nebraska had, on offense, and you just threw the interception at the goal line, Ramir Johnson comes out, takes the momentum out of the Minnesota Golden Gophers camp or sideline, returns it to the 35-yard line. What happened? Just a few plays later, Nebraska gets on the board with a touchdown. It's plays like that are going to take the air out of the Colorado fan base and inflate Nebraska's fans, which is what's going to help Nebraska get that victory.
Here's where I say a blowout could possibly happen. This game is so exciting. It's so magnanimous. It's so big that one thing that people don't talk about is what they call adrenaline dump. You hear it in the USC and stuff like that, where you come out, you have so much adrenaline, you're so hyped, and it's with the altitude, the adrenaline dump, that a first quarter or end of the first quarter, second quarter can literally kick you out of this game. They've got to be able to handle that moment, that time, and those situations to stay in the game, so that I think wearing the Colorado Buffaloes down would be able to be a part of their scheme, which is the running game. If you get down so far early, you take that out of the game. You can't continue to work that strategy. You're going to have to pass the ball, and I don't know if Jeff Sims is that guy to do that.
I'm curious defensively for Nebraska now. Again, Nebraska played very well against Minnesota. Callie Magnus, who is apparently an NFL quarterback, didn't look like it in that game.
I agree.
Nebraska. They didn't run the ball very well. The receivers had some nice catches, of course, but Nebraska played well. Now, for Nebraska, the first half, though, there's no Ty Robinson. Now, we've mentioned this quite a few times throughout the week with him getting the targeting call in the second half against the Gophers last week. But, I thought that when he left the game, the D-line still played well.
I agree.
Buckley and Gunderson and Hotmacher.
Yeah, well, I think part of it also, Nebraska's going to have to figure out a way to get pressure off the edge. They're going to have to, right?
Fact.
One thing that TCU actually did really well last week, they have two really, really talented edge rushers, TCU does. That allowed them to get the 5 sacks on Shedeur Sanders, and it also kept Shedeur Sanders in the pocket, right? Us Husker fans, guys, although Shedeur doesn't necessarily run a whole lot or look to run a whole lot, he still can. He's an exceptional athlete, and that is what – I heard Coach Bush talking about it on your guys' show, Jake.
Yep.
That is what scares defenses and defensive coaches at times, is quarterbacks that can run and throw the ball well. We saw his accuracy and his passing numbers last Saturday against TCU. Now, granted, it was against the TCU defense. However, one thing TCU did really well was their front line got pressure, especially off the edge. And so Nebraska's going to have to figure it out. Cameron Lenhart, this is your breakout game. Blaise Gunnerson, you got manhandled against Minnesota last Thursday. This is your game that you need to show up and show out, because Nebraska's going to need guys all 11 of them, all 15 of them on defense to show up and show out if they want to beat this high-powered offensive Colorado.
Here's what you're going to probably see with Colorado, and you're probably going to see them press the box. They're going to probably stack the box heavily to force Jeff Sims to throw the ball. Then on the other side of things, the Nebraska Cornhuskers, as you said, I will add on to that, need to get pressure, apply pressure.
Yeah.
Because if you allow Shedeur Sanders to sit back there and pick you apart with his accuracy, it's not going to happen.
Once again, I've said it multiple times. Take it all.
Yes,
Once again, we've said it multiple times. Like, you cannot compound mistakes in this game, or you cannot compound big plays that favor the Buffaloes. For example, Shedeur Sanders and the athletic receivers that they have on the perimeter, they're going to get theirs. There's going to be a time where Nebraska has really good coverage and they still connect on a deep ball because that's how talented of athletes that they are. They're going to be able to beat you downfield at least once or maybe even twice. But it's how do you respond? Do you respond with a procedure penalty? Do you respond with a pass interference? Do you respond by letting up another big play, right? And then also in response to that is if that goes for a touchdown from 30-plus yards out, how does the offense respond? Because you cannot go 3 and out in back-to-back drives and consecutively because, once again, you got to take the pressure or so much pressure off of your defense, and offense is your best defense in today's game.
Absolutely.
Again, we are live at the Blur Parties Tailgate, 2601 Canyon Boulevard, Nick. There's still room for you guys. BlurEvents.com/Boulder. My guys from softball back in the day are in the building. Ben and Justin in the house. In the house here in Boulder. We've seen a lot of listeners, by the way. A lot of listeners of the ticket.
They've been
are
exceptional.
here. And so we appreciate all you guys making the trip. If you're local, thanks for coming out. If you're coming, I saw a guy from Bend, Oregon listens to our station.
Oh, wow.
Here.
That's
Flew in
right.
from Bend to Oregon. We saw Brad from Colorado Springs drove up today.
Our good guy John Squire is here. Obviously, the
Squire's
father
in
of
the house.
Husker softball captain Abby Squire.
Yes, in the house.
Yeah, he's here. He's here with his cousin Jim. I mean, there's so many people here, fellas.
It's been fun.
A blast. We participated in the shot ski for goodness sakes.
Shout out to Sasha Shepard, my boy's in the house.
There you go.
Stayed at his crib. Beautiful in the mountains area. My homeboy, he's in the building. He's in the building.
Here's what I'll say, guys. Nebraska, I just saw – this is a big thing. I want to talk about two things. First, this one isn't necessarily that surprising or that important or notable, but Nebraska went to midfield to have their team meeting pregame, and from this Colorado student section, the F Nebraska chants started ringing through Folsom Field. It's going to be intense. How does Nebraska respond when the fan base is against them, when the players of Colorado are jawing back and forth and trying to get under their skin? Do they allow it? That's what I want to see from a lot of the new faces on the team, right? A lot of these guys, this is going to be the biggest and most intense environment that they've probably played in, most recently for sure, but then also throughout their college football career. More than likely, this might be the most intense environment and most important game that Jeff Sims has ever played in, right? His time at Georgia Tech, he was an on and off starter. You think about those games against the Georgias, and they have the rivalry between Georgia and Georgia Tech. You think about the games that they might have played Clemson on the road in Death Valley. But one thing that's missing or different is Georgia Tech didn't have much of a chance against those teams.
Yeah.
It's different, right? Everything is magnified today with Jeff Sims' decision-making. You cannot make poor decisions because it's going to, once again, compound into worse decisions and worse events for Nebraska. He's got to play smart, disciplined football along with the rest of the Husker football team.
I would have to agree with you. It's an important game. I also agree that this is an important national discussion, narrative change that Nebraska could put themselves in a position to be able to take advantage of. I think it's huge for recruiting. Everybody's going to be talking about this game. Everybody's going to be looking at this game. There was over 7.3 million viewers for the TCU Colorado game.
This one's going to surpass 10. This is going to have more than 10 million
To
viewers.
your point, Strick, you're right. Colorado really has nothing to prove today. They've already proven. They beat TCU. We're on the right track. If they lose, no one's going to say, oh, Colorado.
Yep.
They had no expectations for this year to begin with, except for, hey, Prime's here. Nebraska has everything to gain. Colorado has slightly. If they win, 2-0 is a great story. But guess what? Their story was last week when they beat TCU on the road.
Yeah.
Nebraska, with the nation watching, trying to make up for last week's loss and trying to get over this embarrassing – couple years of
Just the
3-9,
dark
4-8.
skies, yeah.
Open Make the sky sunny again. It's beautiful out here today.
Yeah.
Imagine if we're having a post-game show and Nebraska has won this game like we thought they would all off season. The nation was watching. Jeff Sims played well. Matt Rule gets his first win at Nebraska on the road, and everything is forgiven from last week.
Well, that's exactly what I was going to say. Is if you win today, nobody's talking about Minnesota. Nobody is talking about Minnesota.
But then also what you had, remember early on, there was a lot of discussions about the new coaches, the transitions. They're going to new places, and then you had Rule in that discussion. You had Dion in that discussion. So now this is also a coaching battle.
It is
in that, and so Dion doesn't want to fall to Rule, and Rule don't want to fall to Dion. So that thing comes into play too, because there's a large discussion about what they're going to do with their perspective.
I hate to say it is a comparison. Colorado started over. Nebraska did not. Now it's a new staff, it's a new head coach, but you didn't rid yourself of 80 players. You kept a lot of guys. Some guys left naturally, but you didn't have a complete roster overhaul, and you've got guys that are pretty good that stuck along. So everyone talks about this great Buffalo staff with Sean Lewis, and they've got a bunch of former Tim Brewster's on staff also there at Colorado.
Yep,
big time staff members. But you want to prove that you are just as good as them, if not better, with your staff.
Yeah, it's going to be a really, really special day, guys. Once again, if you take care of business, nobody's talking about Minnesota. And I think also, guys, whether he will ever admit it or not, Matt Rule feels the pressure. Like after week 1, this is not Baylor, this is not Temple, this is Nebraska, and we can't control that there's such high expectations, despite Nebraska being a little bit of a poor football team the last couple of years. I think after week 1, and you could kind of sense it in the press conferences, you could kind of feel that Matt Rule was feeling the pressure that if they don't show up at all today, and it goes real poorly for Nebraska, this place is going to get real interesting on Monday at Matt Rule's press conference. However, if Nebraska shows up and shows out like we all think they will, we're going to have a good day today.
Should be fun. Again, hopefully Nebraska, don't start flat. Don't be down 14 zip off the bat.
Exactly.
At a home game with the crowd juice for Dion, for Prime's first game here. Do not fall behind early and force yourself to try to pass, which we know, you'll have to pass today at some point. You can't run the ball 100% of the time. You got to pass, but don't be behind the 8 ball from the get-go.
I mean, in addition,
an early turnover or an early score for the
in addition, guys, I mean, think back to that 2021 Oklahoma game on the road, all right? I was there for that one. I know you guys were obviously watching it. Nebraska started out with 2 false start penalties in a hostile environment. Now, I get it. That's not Matt Rule's team, but you can't have that stuff. You cannot Nebraska's offense, for how disappointing it did look at times last week, right? For Nebraska's offense, you can't start behind the chains. You can't get behind the chains, because you got to figure out a way to get 3 or 4 yards on first down and then continue to compound those types of gains and carries until one breaks. And that one that breaks is going to be the turning point and the deciding factor in this one.
That's a fact. I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm excited about what's going to happen. I'm hoping that it happens to the good and for the better for Nebraska, especially a rebound. More so that I want to see a rebound.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see resilience. I want to see passion. I want to see a change, adjustments. I want to see things done differently from what we saw last week, because there's false start penalties on the freaking 2-foot line, and stuff like that. You just
twice inside the 5, you had false starts. It's
Let
me ask you guys this: Do we see Anthony Grant today on the football field for Nebraska?
Yes.
Wait, do we see him in the fourth quarter if it's tight?
No. I think you see more Gabe Irving than Anthony Grant today. I really do. I think this is a game that whether it's working right out of the gate or not, Gabe Irvin needs at least 15 touches today if Nebraska wants to win this game.
Yeah.
Gabe Irvin needs 15 touches in this game if Nebraska wants to stay competitive. We've heard all year, and even going back to previous staffs on how talented Gabe Irvin is when he's fully healthy. Today's the day he shows it. This is the day that the coaches give him the chance to show it, because giving him 7 carries against Minnesota is not a good enough sample size.
Especially with what, like a 6-7 point average? No.
It's not exactly. It's not a good enough sample size. This is the game where I think Gabe Irvin needs to assert himself as the number 1 clear-cut running back. Or if Anthony Grant's that guy, I think Husker fans are sitting here going, we don't care. Find one.
Just hang on to the ball.
Just
Don't
hang
fumble
on.
untimely time. Okay. I know Nick, you're a big fan of some odds here.
Yeah.
Let me give you one. Over under Jeff Sims 16 carries, including scrambles, total rushes. 16 is the number.
Over.
Over 16.
Yeah, not happy about it, but
over under 16 total rushes for Jeff Sims today.
Under.
I'm going over also, Nick.
Not because they should. I think that's what they're going to need. He's going to have to probably bail them out in a lot of situations.
Let's say under.
I think, unfortunately,
if they're going to be successful,
it's not 16 designed runs. It's just 16 scrambles plus the designed runs. I mean, Nebraska gets down to the goal line. I don't know who they give the ball to. And that's what scares me. If Nebraska gets down inside the 10-yard line, who do you go to?
That's the question.
It's a quarterback run game, or you try to get a push.
It's Jeff Sims.
Yeah,
it's Jeff Sims. It's don't throw the ball.
And that's what I'm saying. You don't want him to throw the ball inside the 10-yard line.
Nebraska's one touchdown in week 1 was a completely broken trick play.
Yeah.
A trick play, number 1, and a broken
one.
Trick play. That Alex Bullock could not have dropped that if he tried.
Let me ask you guys this. Who's the leading receiver when it's all said and done today?
I think it has to be Billy Kemp. Okay. I think he has to show up in the inside, in the middle. He didn't show up this last game. Maybe they were able to get to him. I hope he's able to do it. Marcus Washington showed well, but I think they're going to pretty much, on the outside, they're pretty strong at the point.
I think you said I think Marcus Washington's leading right receiver. I think you saw in the second half when he didn't play the first half. In the second half, Jeff Sims was going to Marcus Washington. Now, again, they want Billy Kemp involved. They do want him to get more targets and catches, but Marcus Washington was his favorite guy in the second half of that football game. So he's playing the whole game.
Yeah.
My guy is Marcus Washington, most catches.
I find it interesting because I think Nebraska's going to need to find two guys to step up. They're going to need two guys to step up, right? Because here's the thing, guys. I'm not throwing Travis Hunter's side of the field at all. And now,
I'm not.
And now this falls on Coach Satterfield to figure it out and figure out how to get a guy open. That's what it is. I think at times last week Billy Kemp didn't get open on his own, but I feel like also they didn't really run anything to really favor Billy Kemp at times.
Yeah.
They didn't run anything to maybe favor tight ends other than that missed read in the end zone that it results in an interception. As much as it falls on the players to do their job, the coaching staff has to help them out. They have to figure out a way to put them in a position to do well.
That's true. All right, we are live at the Blur Events Tailgate, 2601 Canyon Boulevard in Boulder, Colorado. We want to pass this off to the studio, or we want to keep going out here?
Let's go one more.
Okay, we'll take a break. This segment was sponsored again by Fleet Feet. You're on your feet a ton in the fall. Make sure you're in a comfortable pair of shoes to avoid unnecessary discomfort. Fleet Feet, Lincoln 77th and Pioneers. We'll have one more segment here, and we'll have the final segment at the studio, but we'll be back for one more segment here from Blur Parties on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness specialize in getting rid of people's pain quickly and permanently. For 31 years, they've been extremely successful with advanced techniques in pain relief using spinal adjustments and decompression, detoxification, diet and lifestyle modification, and more. They are fully equipped to handle the most seasonal athlete, weekend warrior, car accidents, strains, sprains, and more. Is there anywhere you're experiencing pain on your body, or are you fighting decreased energy and depression? Consult Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness first at 402-476-8619.
You had to know that when Wingstop set out to make a crispy, juicy chicken sandwich, they wouldn't make it in just one flavor. They'd make it in all 12. Like lemon pepper, mango habanero, hickory smoked barbecue, and OG hot. So why have one new favorite chicken sandwich when you can have 12? Try the new sauced and tossed Wingstop chicken sandwich today for only $5.49 at Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Valid for a limited time and available at participating Wingstop locations only while supplies last. Price subject to applicable taxes and fees.
Hot tub season is here, and to celebrate, Bonsall Pool & Spa is having a Labor Day sale so good that they're offering it for the whole week. Purchase a new High Life Collection or Limelight Collection spa and receive a free step and cover lifter from now until September 11th. Stock will go fast, so hurry in and claim your new spa today. It's the Labor Day sale from September 1st through the 11th at Bonsall Pool & Spa at 33rd and Highway 2 or at bonsallpool.com.
Accelerate your financial journey. With Kasasa Cash, experience the thrill of earning more with each transaction or the freedom to withdraw your cash from any ATM nationwide. Not to mention, no monthly service fees. It's the power of earning up to 5.5% APY on your Kasasa Cash with Liberty First Credit Union. Earn rewards beginning at a penny, continuing up to $40,000. Visit libertyfirstcu.com for details. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose. Account qualifications apply.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman postgame show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran, for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman postgame show, sponsored by Tanner's Bar and Grill, Vinny Crecack, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games, plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill, 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben Sandwich or the Prime Rib French Dip or any of their famous chicken wings. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
There's a buzz in the air at Kansas. Maybe it's the roar of fans here at the track, or the anticipation of the playoffs as drivers fight to move on to the next round and keep their championship hopes alive. Maybe it's the pulse of the heartland, the thrill of speed, or the sounds of grills sizzling in the campgrounds. Whatever it is, it will be one memorable weekend. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Kansas Speedway. September 8th through the 10th. Get your tickets today at kansasspeedway.com.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive. Always honest answers.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started. It takes a great game plan to win a football game each week, and right now, it's time to plan a trip to get a new car at Mullen Motors. Just like on the football field, there's a wall of defense on the way to Mullen Motors. 48th Street is under construction from Layton all the way to Cornhusker Highway. But the lot at Mullen Motors is full of tons of great vehicles to drive home this fall for the ultimate touchdown. Mullen Motors, still open through road construction at 48th and Walker.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Back to the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show, sponsored by Yours Cheese Spread.
We are back here, 93.7 The Ticket, the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show. All righty, we're going to be joined here by a very special guest, Mr. TV Tony Veland with us. Nick Sainer, Eric Strickland with you guys. TV, what's up, man?
Nothing, man. Glad to see you guys down here. Excited for this game.
It's going to be a blast.
Bring it back. It's been a long time since this rivalry has been as big as it is right now. So I'm excited to see what we're going to do.
All right, so let's talk about it from the defensive back discussion. That's why I wanted to bring you on, right? Because we know about Colorado's athletes. We know that they're loaded on the perimeter with some guys. They had 4 guys go over 100 yards last week against TCU. As a former defensive back yourself, how do you contend against those guys? How do you limit the big plays?
I mean, I think that's what it is. You focus on not letting people get over top. You know what I'm saying? They're going to dink and doing all that type of stuff, and that's fine. But when you do it that way, let them throw them 3-yard passes and rally up, make a play.
Yeah.
At some point, somebody will make a mistake. At some point, it's going to be an errant throw. At some point, you're going to have somebody come in and be able to strip out the ball. So that's how you do that. You know what I'm saying? And don't worry about somebody being, because free safety, right? So I'm always worried about somebody to post or somebody going down the field. Keep stuff in front of you. Keep stuff in front of you and allow your defensive line to make its play. So I'm not gonna sit here and say it's going to be easy. It's not going to be easy, but I think we're up to the challenge. I think last week showed me a little something about us. We didn't give up many big plays. Except for the one, which I don't really want to call that a big play. But we rallied, we tackled well, so I'm expecting the same thing today.
That's one thing I thought last weekend did really well was they tackled
well. Yeah.
A lot better than we've seen it in years. They're going to have to today for the linebackers and the defensive backs.
No, there's no doubt about that. This is going to be a huge test for them. But honestly, I think we're up to the challenge. I think TCU had, in my opinion, bad defense. I think we're going to be able to perform better, and I think we're going to be better than a lot of people think.
Tony, tell me this. This is one question I have. You talk about the rivalry.
Yeah.
The intensity of the moment, everything that's going on, the discussions that are going on. What's it like to come here with the altitude? What's it like to now understand what that adrenaline dump situation kind of hits when you have a big game like this? What in this early game like this? What is going through probably the minds of them right now, being that you've experienced it?
Well, a lot of these kids didn't really experience the rivalry like we had it back then. So it's something that's new to them. But the excitement is there because all the hype is there. Prime got these kids ready to play. They're just coming off a real big game where they won. We're coming off a big game that we should have won. So right now, I think for most of these kids, it's like we got to make amends. We got a great opportunity here to show the nation that, we're better than most people think. So we're going to take that opportunity to do it. The altitude is probably going to affect them for like the first 15, 20 minutes, and then it's going to be regular football. So I don't think that's really going to be that big of an advantage.
Once again, we're here with former Husker and Super Bowl champion Tony Veland. You heading to the game, man?
I am heading to the game.
You're going to make the walk over 7/10 of a mile away?
Yeah. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to get in there. I'm going to support my guys, and hopefully want to come out with a good result.
There it is. Once again, Tony Veland with you guys. Stricky, let's go ahead and take a break. We'll do what we'll do. We'll stick around the entire show. All right, we got 20 minutes left. All right, we'll bring Jake Sorensen back in. TV, appreciate it as always.
Yes, sir. Always.
Have
TV.
Enjoy the game. Once again, that's former Husker and former Super Bowl champion Tony Veland, who won a Super Bowl with the Broncos, as well as a very successful career with the Huskers. All right, let's go ahead and bring Strick back in before we take a break. That way we don't have to go super long in the final segment. We'll bring Jake in. We'll probably bring Terrell maybe at some point as we do our predictions here in a little bit. But I think what TV said was really smart and intelligent about how you're going to allow a big play. It's going to happen, but you got to try your best to keep everything in front of you.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's very important just to make sure. One of the things that I think they did well against Minnesota was it wasn't I don't think it was part of their game plan, because I think they wanted to get the pressure, and I think they wanted to get the stops and so forth and so on. But they had a very good bend but don't break. Yeah. It's like once they got over the over the midline of the midfield, all of a sudden you found them in a situation to where they were getting the stops. The closer they got to the red zone, they got the stops. But I think that's the same thing for this team. Oh, no, I'm good. No, I'm good. I'm not going. I'm going to be right here.
We're right here.
Ask them. That group right there. They might. 2 tickets for sale. 2 tickets for sale.
If you are looking for tickets for the Husker football game today, we have a guy coming up here, Gary Novotny of Gary Michaels Clothing, are selling 2 tickets for the Husker football game if you are looking for tickets. Had to make that announcement publicly there, Stricky. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
So there you go. So I think that's what the mode is.
Yeah.
Keep everything in front, gang tackle, make the plays, and allow them to have to string along long drives. I think that's going to help us in the long run.
Once again, I think when you look at Nebraska's offense, last week they showed the ability. Now, there were just a few times they showed the ability to sustain drives, right? There was that drive that they ended and resulted in a field goal that I was a little disappointed in. They started out the drive running the ball 8 of their first 9 plays. They ran the ball 8 of their first 9 plays, and it's nice to meet you, man. So once again, 8 of their first 9 plays they ran the ball. They got out to the 8-yard line of Minnesota, and they threw it 3 straight times.
Yes.
You can't have that.
You just can't
if
do
you
it.
establish the running game, stick with the running game. And at some point, Marcus Satterfield might have to put what he believes in or what he wants to do on the back burner and say, hey, this is what fits our team best, and this is what's going to win us the ball game today.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I think it's very important. The run game, the establishment of the run game, I think I'm going to be honest about this.
Yeah.
I think giving Jeff Sims 2 options, one receiver option, one mid-tier drag, something like that, shorter option, maybe intermediate option, and run. Give him just 2 options so that he's not overthinking, over-processing, because Jeff doesn't seem to be a guy that can come off and get on multiple receivers and different sides.
As we talked about it earlier, I mean, this might be the biggest environment that he's played in, right? And so now with that in mind, that's where it falls on the coaches to get him into a position that allows him to be successful, and that's simplifying things, right? It's almost like, I mean, Nebraska, let's call it what it is. They have a quarterback starting in today's game in a very intense and high magnitude environment that's turned over the ball a lot in his career. Only completed about 58% of his passes in his career, coming off of a week where he threw 3 interceptions and just didn't have the greatest game throwing the ball. You're going to have to throw the ball in today's game. We're talking about it's been all about run, and it is. But in order to have success in the run game, you're going to need to open it up a little bit, maybe take a couple shots.
Yeah, and that's where I think the shots would come more and be more capable of happening if the run game is working. I don't think you just got to drop back, stay back. I just don't think that's a good recipe for victory for us.
I completely agree. Well, we are about 22 minutes away from kickoff, Strick, and we're having a blast out here.
Yes.
We participated in the shot ski, which is a Blur events tradition.
Yes.
They have it at the downtown at the home games every weekend. But we brought the party to Boulder, and shout out to all the Husker fans for showing up and showing out as we're getting ready to cheer on the Huskers. As fans are starting to make their way over to Folsom Field, the crowd here is staying pretty similar. I mean, all the tables are full. We're about ready to watch this one unfold, all on national television. It's a major opportunity for Nebraska to stake their claim as we are getting there. We are improving. We are making progress. And I know Husker fans might grimace at the sound of improvement and progress because that's all we heard. But once again, Husker fans and myself are starving for tangible proof. Today's a day that you can have some tangible proof coming out of it and say, yeah, Nebraska, they can contend with some of the better teams in the country, even some of the more athletic teams in the country.
I just want to see him to compete. I want to see him compete. I want to see him stay in it. I want to see him fight, either if you win or you lose. I want to see them be able to hang and handle business right here in Boulder.
Allow this to be a game where if Nebraska ends up losing, you can tip your cap and say you were just better than us that day.
Mm-hmm.
Last week, we weren't able to do that to Minnesota, and I think that's why it hurts so much because you knew it was a Nebraska issue that lost them the game. Don't make it a Nebraska issue on why you lost the game today. Make it a Colorado problem. Make it because of Colorado's athleticism and just success on offense and defense that's why you lost the game. And by you do that, by not committing penalties, being disciplined on offense and defense, and just making the right decisions in the moment. Don't let the moment get too big because it's going to be easy to allow that to happen in today's game with the environment, with the fans, with the energy, with the buzz, and with the national attention on you. It's going to get easy to allow the moment to get too big. Settle in from the get-go. Understand that it's not that big of a you don't need to make it a big moment. You just need to make it a successful moment. And so Nebraska's got to figure out a way to do that from the get-go until the clock strikes 0.
I would have to agree. It's going to be a good one. I'm excited. Hopefully, we'll be able to pull out a win right here.
I would love to be doing a post-game show with Jay Foreman here, right as the clock strikes 0 on the Jay Foreman post-game show when Jay and I are out here. I would love to be sitting right here in this seat talking about a Nebraska victory. This is a game that I can't remember the last time I've wanted Nebraska to win more than I do today.
Wow.
I can't remember it. That's how we're feeling.
Wow.
And I don't even know if it's because we're in Boulder. I mean, that's the feel and the buzz that I get from everybody, whether you're in Lincoln, whether you're in Oregon, or whether you're here in Boulder. Once again, this segment's sponsored by Fuhrer's Cheese Spread. No tailgate is complete without Fuhrer's Cheese Spread, based out of Sutton, Nebraska. Find yours today at most local grocery stores. Jake Sorensen will join us when we return to close out the A1 Automotive Tailgate Pregame show, and get you ready for the game, as we are just about 19 minutes from kicking off between Nebraska and Colorado. And then make sure you join us right after the game and the clock strikes 0 for the Jay Foreman post-game show. We'll be right back as we give our predictions and keys to the game one final time before they hit the gridiron. Coming up next on 93.7 The Ticket.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Don't allow uninvited guests to take over your home. Trust Bats to Rats for a peaceful and rodent-free living space.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Join us at this year's Ignite Lincoln 15 at Rococo Theater on Thursday, September 14th for an inspiring night of stories that spark change. Get your tickets at ignitelincoln.org. Don't miss this chance to be a part of something extraordinary.
For many Nebraskans, fall means cooler weather and longer days that include running kids around, cheering for your favorite teams, and long days at work. The hours on your feet can really add up and give unnecessary pain and discomfort. At Fleet Feet Lincoln, they help find the shoes and inserts you need with their Fit ID machine, which takes a 3D image of your feet. If you're having trouble finding the right fit, visit Fleet Feet Lincoln at 77th and Pioneers.
Babe, pack your bags. We're going to Vegas.
Vegas?
We just got the estimate from the wedding caterer, and we're going to have to elope.
Actually, Members Owned Credit Union is offering no-fee home equity lines of credit. We can borrow what we need with equity from the house.
Wait, so we can keep the bacon-wrapped dates for the cocktail hour?
We can keep the bacon-wrapped dates. From wedding bells to trekking the globe and everything in between, capture your dreams your way with a no-fee Members Owned Credit Union home equity line of credit. Learn more at membersownedheloc.org. Limitations may apply. Equal housing lender.
Arnold's Tavern in Havelock is the place to be this summer, and the best place in town for shuffleboard. Come on Wednesdays and learn from some of the best players in town for the Shuffleboard Corner. Come on Sundays for Open House League all day starting at 11 a.m. and enjoy $3 tall boys and $3 wells. Shake off the start to the work week with karaoke on Monday nights. And don't forget, happy hour is every day from 3 to 6 p.m., and you are always welcome to bring in your own food. Arnold's Tavern in the heart of Havelock.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Service Ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
All right, Rico, let's do the final checklist before we head out. We have a lot of people coming to the tailgate today.
I'm ready.
Burgers? Check. Chips? Check. Icy cold beer? Check.
Except this one.
I'm forgetting something. Wait a second. Where's the Führer's cheese spread?
I can't stop eating it.
Rico,
relax. I always pack extra. It's the biggest hit of the tailgate.
For the best appetizer, party dip, and tailgate snack, load up on Führer's cheese spread today. Found in most local grocery stores.
It takes a great game plan to win a football game each week. And right now, it's time to plan a trip to get a new car at Mullen Motors. Just like on the football field, there's a wall of defense on the way to Mullen Motors. 48th Street is under construction from Layton all the way to Cornhusker Highway. But the lot at Mullen Motors is full of tons of great vehicles to drive home this fall for the ultimate touchdown. Mullen Motors, still open through road construction at 48th and Walker.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
When it comes to tackling your fall projects, having the right equipment can make a huge difference. At Sunbelt Rentals, they have an extensive line of tools and equipment to help complete any job. From lawn and landscape equipment to hand tools, pressure washers, portable generators for you tailgaters, and much more. Sunbelt Rentals makes it easy to get what you need when you need it. Drop in to see the experts at 5450 Alvo Road in Lincoln, or visit sunbeltrentals.com today to learn how Sunbelt Rentals can make it happen for you.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. the Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire, 402-560-6197.
Back to the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show, sponsored by Sunbelt Rental.
I'm Nick Stainer. He's Jake Sorensen. One final time here at 2601 Canyon Boulevard, downtown Boulder. We're less than a mile away from Folsom Field. A energetic Folsom Field, but I think there might be just as much energy here at the Blur Tailgate, and we're not putting that lightly. We're not being sarcastic there. There's a lot of energy here, a lot of Husker fans loaded up and buckling down for the game. This segment sponsored by Blur Parties. Come hang with us now during the game and post-game until 5 p.m. Once again, that address is 2601 Canyon Boulevard. If you are listening on the app from it, maybe even inside the stadium. I got a text from one of our listeners. They have us on their AirPods inside Folsom Field.
Shout out to that listener. Shout out to them.
So once again, make sure you hang out with us. We're here until 5 p.m. local time, which is 6 p.m. Nebraska
That's
time.
right.
Jake, I know you got a report.
I do have a report. Now, I just saw some footage. They're showing, the pregame on Fox. I saw a little red in the stadium, but Joe in Boulder, longtime ticket listener. I got a drink with him last night. By the way, he bought me a drink last night at the Pearl Street Pub. Shout out to Joe.
Oh, so this was after we had dinner.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you went to sleep. I went out for another drink.
Yeah,
okay.
Jake and I went home.
Joe
Jay
in Boulder says, I was hoping for 50-50 percentage of Nebraska. He says 25% red in the stands.
Yeah.
Now, the picture I just saw on the screen looked like way more than 25%.
Yeah.
That was not the whole stadium. It was one side. But that was right below the press box. So Joe in Boulder at the game, again, we are 12 minutes away from kickoff, says, for his vantage point, 25% Nebraska fans, which is a shocker to us.
Yeah, I think it is a shocker to us. If that's true, I think it goes back to maybe what we heard back when they hired Deion Sanders as their next head coach. You heard Rick George, the athletic director. One of the first things he said was, do not sell your tickets to Husker fans. And if you do, we know who you are. He was speaking to the season ticket holders and saying, if you sell your tickets to Husker fans for whatever price, then you will, we know who you are, season ticket holders,
You're
right?
getting blacklisted.
Exactly. And so over Deion Sanders with his new reign as Colorado head coach, I think a lot of Buff fans were kind of living in fear. How about this? Urban Meyer just picked Colorado to win 35-14.
Oh, right.
Matt
Wow.
Leinart 31-14.
Picking blowouts here.
Mark Ingram, we're waiting to see.
Yeah.
As
this is big noon on Fox.
Yes, big noon on Fox. Mark Ingram is picking. We're waiting for the graphic to come up here on Fox Big Noon Kickoff before we go ahead. He's putting on the Coach Prime sunglasses, 34-17.
We got a bunch of blowouts picked here.
And now the
What's going on?
former Notre Dame Fighting Irish quarterback Brady Quinn is last up, and he'll let us know his selection in just a few moments. But
This
the
is
good thing is,
shocking. They'll
how about
pick
this?
a blowout.
Brady Quinn, 35-24 Colorado. So
That's the
four
closest of them.
Buffalo wins from the Fox Big Noon Kickoff crew. I think we might be going a little bit of a different direction, Jake. At least I will.
Yeah, I'm picking Colorado to win. I don't
Okay.
like it. I'm saying 28-24. Now, that's my head. My heart says Nebraska 24-21, but I'm going with my head here. Nebraska defense played well against Minnesota. Can you slow down Shedeur Sanders? Can you slow down Travis Hunter? Dylan Edwards is a problem out of the backfield. They had 4 receivers go over 100 yards last game. Was that a bad TCU defense or a really good Colorado offense? That's what you learn in week 2.
Yeah.
Week 1 and week 2 is a huge difference, both positive and negative, all across college football. You hope for Nebraska it's a big positive this week. But the national guys are saying not just a loss, but a blowout loss.
Nebraska has a chance to right the wrongs here, right? Nebraska has an opportunity to really springboard the rest of this year, going into 2 games that yeah, wins would be nice, but are they really going to do a whole lot for your confidence over Northern Illinois and Louisiana Tech? Maybe not as much, and not nearly as much as it would over a Colorado win, right? Nebraska has a prime opportunity, a prime opportunity to really springboard themselves into a positive direction here. And also, Matt Rule, at first win against Colorado, it doesn't get much better than that as the Nebraska head coach.
No, it'd be great, especially with all the people thinking Colorado's a bunch of kings now.
Yeah.
They get their one win against TCU, which again, Nick, I'm not taking that was a phenomenal win. They looked great against TCU. We know that TCU does not have Max Dugan back. They don't have Quentin Johnston back. Their quarterback was, I would say, average at best.
Chad Morris.
I would say he was average at best. Their defense is pitiful, and you hope Nebraska's defense gives a little more of a push than TCU and can get in the backfield.
Yeah,
because Shedeur Sanders was hardly touched in that game. He had a couple sacks, but the thing is, Nick, he just he doesn't run the football. He is even though his dad is an incredible athlete,
he has the athleticism.
Sanders
too.
does not run.
He
Shedeur does not run very often.
Okay, so Jake, we got a couple minutes left in this one as we are getting ready. Sounds like a flyover is going on right now. That's pretty sweet here. That's how close we are to the stadium. A little flyover going on. All right, so Jake, one key on offense, right? Let's go outside of running the football because we all agree and we've all discussed you got to establish a traditional running game with a Gabe Irvin, Anthony Grant type of team. What's one other key to the offense that you need to see?
Well, you do have to pass the football. I mean, yes, you
agree.
have to establish the run. That's where Nebraska needs to, get their offensive yards. But you got to figure out something. And again, quarterback is as a quarterback is, Nick. You can't just say from 1 week to the next that Jeff Sims will figure out the staring down a receiver. That's kind of how he operates. But
that's sweet.
That is sweet.
That flyover. We can't see it, but it's pretty sweet.
But can Jeff Sims possibly progress a little bit more? Don't always go for your first read.
Yeah.
I'll say this too. I know they want to get Billy Kemp involved. Billy Kemp is still, I'm not trying to knock, is not a difference maker. He's not a game changer, but he's important to have.
He hasn't been, and I don't think we can expect him to be this Samari Toure or Trey Palmer replacement. Right?
No,
you think about
the
two wide receivers Nebraska's gotten out of the portal the last couple of years, and they've been difference makers for Nebraska on offense. Sometimes the only source of offense for Nebraska. Here, they got to figure out a way, I think personally, to get the tight ends involved. Right? That's a great way and chance for Nebraska to get Jeff Sims into a rhythm early on, let him settle down on some of the nerves and calm down. But we do have a national anthem.
Yeah.
How about this? We're even doing it here. This is great.
Let's wrap it
We
up.
must be pumping in sound from the stadium. Let's go predict the game real quickly here, Jake.
28-24 Colorado.
I'm going 27-24 Nebraska. Nebraska gets it done against the Buffaloes. This has been the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show. Shout out to the national anthem being played. We'll be back with the post-game coverage right after this. Thanks for listening. Colorado Huskers coming up next. When it comes to tackling your fall projects, having the right equipment can make a huge difference. At Sunbelt Rentals, they have an extensive line